Israel is starving Palestinian children lies, saying they've sent in tons of food.
In the last few months, that food has not been reaching the Palestinian civilians because Hamas is stealing it.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Now trying to figure out how they died. Cloudy skies, rain in some spots at 68 on Monument Circle. You'll have a high in the low 80s today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 9:02. Greenwood police say a mother and her 3-year-old son were discovered dead inside their home Monday morning. The Johnson County coroner later identified them as 33-year-old Karen Clay and her son Carter. One of their neighbors reacted to what happened, speaking with Wish TV.
It's definitely scary when you don't know like what happened. Obviously, it's still new, it's still going on, so ain't nobody been caught, So are they out here just watching? Like, what could possibly be going on?
Autopsies are planned for this week as the investigation continues. A Purdue University student is now out of federal custody after being detained by immigration agents in New York. Yin-Soo Go, known to friends as Sue, was taken into custody Thursday following a visa hearing in Manhattan. Sue seeing her family after being released last night. The 20-year-old came to the U.S. from South Korea in 2021 with her mother and was preparing to return to West Lafayette for the new school year. The Department of Homeland Security says that she overstayed her visa, but her attorney disagrees. Attorneys for the man convicted of killing Abby Williams and Libby German in Delphi back in 2017 have filed a new request.
They want more time to file an appeal. I'm John Herrick. Richard Allen's attorneys say they have filed a motion for an extension because of the complexities of the case. They want the deadline to be extended by 30 days. The deadline is currently August 5th, so if they got their wish, the new deadline would be September 5th. Allen was found guilty of 2 counts of murder and 2 counts of murder while kidnapping in November of 2024. John Herrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
The average price of gas for Hoosiers today, $3.21 a gallon, according to Gas Buddy. That's the average in Indianapolis. It's $2.93 a gallon in Evansville, the cheapest in the state. The Indiana Fever looking to make it 6 wins in a row tonight as they take on the Los Angeles Sparks out west. Head coach Stephanie White talked to ESPN about what has spurred their recent success.
We're really just finding a way. I think chemistry, continuity, this is a team that really pulls for each other. It's a really deep team, so you can't really key on 1 or 2 players without Caitlin on the floor, especially. And they've got connectivity.
Caitlin Clark, as mentioned, still on the sidelines. She'll miss another game with her injured groin. Tonight's tip-off is set for 10 o'clock Eastern Time. Now a check of traffic this morning. Hello, Matt Baer.
Good morning, Jared. Looking at southbound 6570 downtown. Crash at Fletcher blocking the left lane and causing stop-and-go traffic back to the north split. Northbound 65 south side, that's stop-and-go traffic. Keystone Avenue into the south split because of construction. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code radio for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer with traffic on the 5s. Follow us at WIBC Traffic.
Premier Deck Coating, the ultimate deck protection. Who are they? Well, they're a sister company of Rhino Shield, and Premier Deck Coating is the product you need if you're tired of applying the same old stain and paint every couple of years to your deck. It's Terry, Stacy, and David and I have a deck that's probably 25 years old. The countless hours and the money that we spend on maintaining that deck never ends. And then we heard about Premier Deck Coating. Family-owned, based right here in Indy, and they are going to completely transform our deck with their special formulated product, which repels moisture, scratch-resistant in virtually any color that we want, and backed by a 10-year guarantee. No more spending time staining or painting every year. Premier Deck Coating will keep our deck looking great for years to come. Premier Deck Coating can also do fences and pergolas, too. For a free quote, call 317-696-4071 or visit premierdeckcoating.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Sunny, warm, humid, and a few spotty storms this afternoon. Today's high 84, mostly cloudy. Should be quiet, but stuffy overnight, lows into the mid-60s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
So it appears the Marion County Prosecutor's Office, allegedly, is now involved.
Yeah, you're talking about that story that came out involving a deepfake scandal within the State House.
Okay, so we got to reset this because this is, look, I've been actively paying attention, covering Indiana politics and government, 9 years here, 15 years collectively, and this is the most crazy allegation I think I've ever heard, and we still don't even really know totally what to make of it. Yesterday we did the 10 o'clock hour. We talked about this story from Tom LaBianco. He's a freelance journalist. He wrote a big book on Mike Pence. You've seen him on Fox News, MSNBC, worked for the Associated Press. Local people know him. He was a reporter for years here with the Indy Star about these allegations that employees in the lieutenant governor's office were sharing I guess they call deep fake pornography of a state rep's wife. Right. Okay. So this was all the conversations, my understanding, yesterday in the State House. This is now a massive deal. And by the way, LaBianco is going to join us today at 10:06 to talk about his reporting because there is a new report out today, and I'll just read the headline. Indy prosecutor probes topless deepfake, Haggard blasts pornographic smear of his wife. So
yesterday it was just reported a lawmaker's wife. Now we know who that lawmaker is.
And that is Representative Craig Haggard. Craig Haggard represents, it's a part of Hendricks County. I think he's into Johnson County. He's one of those guys who's got multiple counties. And yes, as we said yesterday, I talked to Craig yesterday for quite a while. And we're going to read his quote from this story. And what he said to me yesterday really mirrors the quote that he gave Tom LaBianco today. So you've got two really breaking developments in this. Allegedly, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is doing some sort of investigating into this, and Representative Haggard, with a very forceful statement, has come forward on this. So why don't we read, and it's a big story. If you want to follow this story, so Tom LaBianco, like we said, he's a freelance journalist. The website is 24sight.news. So 24sights.news. I've also got the latest story up at Rob M. Kendall because, again, and we'll get into this with Tom coming up at 10:06, he still hasn't publicly named his sources.
No, he has not.
That led him to start covering this story. Now, and we will ask Tom about this at 10:06, but I'm going to read you the quotes from Representative Haggard. It certainly appears that he believes it's real. Now, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but when we read you the quotes from him, he's certainly operating, and you can correct me if I'm wrong if you hear this, that he certainly believes that this appeared to allegedly have happened. Quote, "My wife and I are outraged and saddened by her singing at a charity event for mental health was turned into a pornographic smear of her and our family. State House leadership, rather than expressing concern for a victim of this criminal act, instead went into full find the leakers mode, seeking to cover up any role the lieutenant governor's office may have played in this affront to all women." That is the quote from Representative Craig Haggard.
So it sounds like he definitely believes that this happened. So I do have many questions about this. One regarding Tom LaBianco's investigation into this. Does he have a motivation himself for writing this article? Who are his sources, and at what point will he be revealing them? And I guess the biggest question of all, where is the proof? And I will ask him that when he joins us at 10 o'clock.
Okay, Haggard then went on to say, because apparently he confronted Rod Bray, who is the pro tem of the Senate, about this over the weekend. He then went on to say in this article that LaBianco has posted this morning, quote, when given the opportunity to stand up for justice and the dignity of women, Senate pro tem Rod Bray said, quote, I don't care. So that's where we're at with this. We'll have Tom LaBianco on at 10:06. We'll try to get some more information on this. Obviously, there's a news story to update. And right now, Micah and his office, I guess, are saying this. He had a town hall last night in Terre Haute, is my understanding.
He did.
He still says.
He was asked about it.
He said it didn't happen. He's conducted, did he say some sort of investigation?
He said that he did. He had an internal investigation.
And this is why this is, I mean, there's many layers to this of why this is fascinating. But two things cannot be true at the same time, right? Micah's saying it didn't happen. And to some extent, he has invested himself not into, I'll get to the bottom of it. He's made a definitive statement on multiple occasions that it didn't happen. So he's staked a ground. LaBianco, who is a nationally known journalist, and we'll try to find out what the sources are.
What processes does he go through?
He seems rock solid it happened. And so now this is going to be super fascinating because nobody appears to be in the maybe camp on this, and so which means common sense would tell you somebody got to be right and somebody got to be wrong. And I come back to Craig Haggard's statement, which it appears, and we'll ask LaBianco if he's got more details on that coming up at 10:06. He thinks it happened. So that's where we're at on this. And so we'll keep you up to date as things develop.
All right, he's going to join us at 10 today on 93 WIBC. Let's turn to what's going on in Texas. They had a vote and they passed a motion to issue arrest warrants for members who were not present in the Texas House.
Being 85 ayes and 6 nays, the motion prevails. The Sergeant-at-Arms and any officers appointed by her are directed to send for all absentees whose attendance is not excused for the purposes of securing and maintaining their attendance under warrant of arrest if necessary until further order of the House.
So Democratic lawmakers, they fled the state in Texas to block a GOP redistricting plan.
Okay, so I just looked at the clock. Why don't we take a quick break? Because I think there's some things that this is affecting potentially here in Indiana.
Okay.
And I want to be able to get into that, but I also want to explain this is the worst of everything. And there was actually a really good piece by Julia Vaughn, who helps run Common Cause Indiana in the Indiana Capitol Chronicle, because the Democrats are doing this or pondering doing this too in another state. And she took both the Republicans and Democrats to task on this. And so I need more time.
I need more time.
I need more time because there's so many things I want to touch on with this.
All right, we'll get to it next on 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the morning news. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda of Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 HRV LX all-wheel drive for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda of Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake.
Visit us off State Road 37 for special pricing during our summer sales event. With approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only. Not combinable with other offers. All fees due at signing. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends August 31st. See dealer for details.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
I hate everything about what's going on in Texas and California with these redistricting things because it is gross how people are trying to rig our electoral system in their party's favor, and we, the people who care about fairness and decency in the elections, are the ones who lose. So it's Kendall Casey Show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. All right. So we updated you last segment that what the governor of Texas, and now by an act of the General Assembly, they are ordering the arrest of lawmakers in the state of Texas, Democrat lawmakers who have fled the state of Texas in order so that there cannot be a vote on this redistricting stuff.
Yeah, and isn't it interesting because, as you mentioned, you've got the Texas governor, Greg Abbott, and also the California governor, Gavin Newsom, on polar opposite sides of the political spectrum. And they're both pushing for these mid-cycle redistricting. So it's happening on both sides. Now, the people in Texas saying, well, we've grown so much. That's why we have to redistrict. So what is California saying? People are moving away from California. So why do they want to do it?
Okay, so let just real quick, I know most people know, but let's talk about what they're doing here. So the state of Texas, we'll start with just Texas, because this is going on in California too. It's a different set of circumstances, but they're trying to do the same thing. The state of Texas believes that if they every 10 years, the United States does a census, right? Like you're asked to fill out how many people live in your house, blah, blah, blah. And then off of that U.S. Census, congressional delegations are like each state gets a certain amount of U.S. representatives
based on population.
And as a part of that, then your states have to redistrict their House and Senate maps based on population. Where have people moved to? You have to draw the maps. There are federally regulated requirements on race, et cetera, right? So all of these things have to be factored in. Well, the state of Texas believes, what are we? We're halfway through that 10-year redistricting process or the consensus process, that we've had enough people move here, and the way they moved here and the way they vote, it would give us more representation in the U.S. House of Representatives if we can do the special redistricting, the way people have moved, where they're at, etc. And this is all about getting more Republicans in the House of Representatives. So what they're trying to do is bypass the 10-year standard that everybody has always played by. It's like, right, we're all playing by the same rules here. You do it every 10 years. We all do it every 10 years. They're trying to bypass this, but the gross part is they're tying this vote. So the Democrats are like, we're not going to have any part of this. We're out of here. If we're not here, you can't vote.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked about yesterday, I'm torn on that because there's a part of me that goes, okay, Republicans are pulling bull crap. They shouldn't be able to get away with this. However, your job is to show up and fight and vote. So I'm torn on that. What the Republicans are doing that's very gross, though, is they're tying essential state business, including flood relief, to this vote. Mm-hmm. So what they're doing now is going out and going, the Democrats have abandoned the state of Texas, and they are denying these people who desperately need help, by the way, flood relief. When the Republicans know damn well that if they simply had a special session on a vote on flood relief, everyone would be there.
Separate bill.
And everybody would be voting, and they know exactly what they're doing. Yeah. So that's awful. In California, because Gavin Newsom has said, oh, yeah, watch this.
Hold my beer.
Now they're trying to do it out there in California or exploring it, saying, well, if Texas did it, we're going to do it. And Julia Vaughn, who is the, I think executive director is her title, of the group Common Cause Indiana, they fight for a variety of issues related to fairness in government. Some of the things they do, I agree with. Some of it they don't. But she had a opinion piece in the Capitol Chronicle about this, and she really blasted both California, which is run by Democrats, and Texas, which is run by Republicans, and essentially saying, this is awful. We do this every 10 years. People move where they move. Everybody agreed to the rules. We have these commissions that are supposed to do this in a lot of these states.
Yep.
You are bypassing all of this, and you are totally telling people, she did not use these words, I'm using it, though. It's another example of how government is, whose line is it anyway, the television show, where the game's made up and the rules don't matter. Everybody knows what the Republicans are doing in Texas. Everybody knows they are tying this flood relief stuff so that they can go out and say, and they did it yesterday. You watch these Republicans, whether it was, I think, the Speaker of the House, the Attorney General, the governor, none of them will talk about redistricting. The talking points are the Democrats have fled the state and are denying the people flood relief in the state of Texas. They know damn well, Casey, why those people left the state.
Yeah.
Not saying it's right, but I'm saying they know why they left.
Yeah, Abbott is saying that they've abandoned their duty and they're holding critical legislation hostage as well. Now, in the article that you referenced, they're saying, okay, so you mentioned the commission. There's the Citizens Redistricting Commission, and it's been seen as a nonpartisan, fair redistricting, right? But now they're saying that in California, Newsom is threatening their authority.
Yeah. So, and now Schwarzenegger, this is wild. I read an article yesterday in Politico. Schwarzenegger, who was the governor when they put these two, there were two sets of commissions that were put in place while he was governor, is now saying, if he does this, I will come out as part of this group vehemently opposing this because you're screwing everybody. And we are just seeing this on full display, that all this is, none of what's going on, it's dinner theater. All our politics are dinner theater. It's an evening at Beef and Boards.
Okay.
That's what it is, because they're just making all of this up designed to keep themselves, their party, whatever, in power.
Now, how does this affect Hoosiers?
Okay, so I was told today by what I would call a very reliable source, and this person has not told me this as they take it to the bank. I'm not saying this is going to happen. I'm just saying that there is apparently rumor that the Trump administration has reached out to multiple high-ranking Indiana officials, including the governor and multiple congressmen and one of our senators, about beginning the process of putting pressure on the state of Indiana, the Indiana General Assembly, to do just this. Because now, if Texas goes forward and California goes forward, every state in the union is going to do this or be pressured to do this, because it's all about trying to get one or two more House reps And think about why they're doing this. These people can't consistently win elections because they govern so poorly, because they lie about everything. Both parties screw everybody all the damn time.
So they're trying to tip the balance of power.
They're rigging the system because...
I mean, it's already a supermajority here in Indiana.
But they're trying to get one or another House rep. They're never going to get Indianapolis because of Andre Carson. Think about, and they did this the last time. Remember how they drew the district? So Victoria Sparks had this super close race in 20. No, it was 22. It was 20. She had this, 22. Yes, 22. All these days move together now, right? There's too much drama, too much crap. So 22, Victoria Sparks has this super close race. They moved that district to make it more Republican friendly. They pushed it, They pushed it to the north to move more of Indianapolis out of the district. What it further did was cement District 7, which is Marion County, which is Andre Carson, to make him further unbeatable. And they just said, we know the Marion County Republican Party is totally inept and can't win this district anyway. So we'll make Sparks' district safer for her, for a Republican. Didn't make it any more fair. Didn't make it any more right. Didn't make it any better representation of the district or who the people are there or the needs or whatever. It just made it safer for her. So what the Republicans believe here that they can do, and I would guess they're looking at District 1, which is where Frank Mervan is the rep, which has been on their radar, the national radar, the past 3 or 4 election cycles. They've never won it, but it's getting more and more red. It's the region, the Chicagoland area.
Lake County.
They will somehow try to draw that district to make it more Republican friendly so that they can win that seat.
So they add another seat in Washington then.
Now, we will see, because the rumor is there's going to be potentially a high-profile visitor to the greater central Indiana area in the near future. Don't know if it's going to happen. That is the scuttlebutt inside the State House, is that now there is at least conversations going on with some of our people about pressure or applying pressure or getting the ball rolling on potentially doing this. There's been nothing publicly that would lead anybody to believe that it's going to happen. But if it why wouldn't it happen if it happens in Texas?
If they're doing it there.
And then California.
Why won't they do it everywhere?
Right. Because, and again, we're talking about by the time everybody cancels everybody out, maybe, I don't know, 5 seats, maybe by the time everybody cancels everybody out. And then you're going to create a colossal mess for the Supreme Court because they're going to have to sort through all of these maps. You see this all the time where they strike down maps or they're ruled unconstitutional because of the voting rights and the ways you have to draw these maps. It's gross. Just govern better. That's what's so infuriating about this. These people can't consistently win elections because they screw everybody over every time one party gets in power. Oh, well, that didn't work. We'll go to these guys. Oh, it didn't work. If you would just do the job, you could consistently win, and you wouldn't have to do these shenanigans. I hate, Casey, everything about this.
You are listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve. Plus, with any new Lincoln, your first 5 oil changes are on us. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
First 5 oil changes complimentary with any new Lincoln purchase or lease. See dealer for complete details.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A possible plan for Gaza. Cloudy, a drizzle in some spots. It's 69 in Indianapolis, a high of 82 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 9:30. The Israeli Security Cabinet will meet today to talk about next steps after Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vows a plan to occupy the Gaza Strip.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu will convene his security cabinet today to discuss a path forward in Gaza after the latest ceasefire talks stalled. It was just last week that U.S. Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff said that he was working on a plan to end the war in Gaza. After truce talks fell through, Israeli officials are now reportedly discussing expanding the offensive in the Strip. It's been 668 days since the start of the war. Of the hostages still held in Gaza, 20 are believed to still potentially be alive.
Fox's Alex Hogan reporting. The Security Cabinet meeting expected to take place in New York, discussing the conditions and statuses of the remaining hostages. House Speaker Mike Johnson also visited a settlement in the occupied West Bank over the weekend. Massachusetts Senior Senator Elizabeth Warren is encouraging her fellow Democrats to show their support for New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani as he continues his campaign trail. South Carolina Republican Senator Tim Scott on Fox and Friends, though, said that he's criticizing those who have endorsed Mamdani thus far, saying they've lost their minds.
If this is the face of the Democrat Party, they learned nothing from the 2024 beatdown that President Trump put on them.
Senator Warren has been a vocal supporter of Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist. And more than 3,000 Boeing union members in Missouri and Illinois are going on strike, doing so Monday over a new contract. Boeing executives defended their contract offer. Now your opening bell report on 93 WIBC, brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow down 25 points, 44,173. The S&P 500 is up 5.5 points to 6,329. The NASDAQ also in the green, 60 points. It's up 23,188. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level on the Go and at WIBC.com.
My mom just found the best place ever, Wilson's Farm Market. They've got the best ice cream, in tons of flavors like butter pecan, orange pineapple, but my favorite is the old-fashioned vanilla. And the candy? Whoa. There's a whole wall of it. Gummies, chocolates, giant jawbreakers, even old-school stuff my grandma loves. It's like a candy wonderland. And they let me pick out my own bag? Yes! Wilson's is just 20 minutes north of Carmel. Tell your crew it's time for a sweet road trip. Wilson Farm Market, you gotta go!
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Guys, Low T Center has improved the quality of hundreds of thousands of men's lives across the country. Now women can enjoy the same life-changing, medically guided hormone therapy.
Imagine how great you'll both feel. FixMyLowT.com for information and to schedule an appointment.
Watching your parents get older is something you never get used to. You know it's going to happen, but it still doesn't seem right. Especially when the time comes to consider moving a parent into a nursing home. It's a hard decision for you and them. And when that's the right choice, there's the added stress of what to do with the house. Simple Quarters understands and can help relieve some of that stress. They're a Christian company who is compassionate about what you and your parent are going through. They can help with the logistics of selling the home. They'll buy it as is, no need for repairs, cleaning, staging, or showings. No catch. It's one less thing for you to worry about. Simple Quarters, a Christian company dedicated to helping families through life's transitions. If you're facing the challenge of selling a home due to a loved one moving into an assisted living or nursing home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME. Or go to simplequarters.com.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios. And they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at your favorite grocer. If you can't find it, please ask for it.
Okay, so this next story blows my mind, Casey.
Yeah.
Because, look, you know me, money means nothing to me, but losing this amount of money, I think that would mean something.
You would be really bothered by this. I would be bothered by this.
Okay, what is the price of a Bitcoin? Now, let me look this up. By the way, while I'm looking this up, what's the most amount of money you've ever misplaced? Have you ever misplaced $20, or I put it in my pocket, or I left my wallet somewhere? And
I wouldn't say misplaced. Like, I may have put it in an alternate pocket in my purse and then came across it later. Oh, I didn't realize I put it there instead of where I normally put my money.
Okay, so a Bitcoin is currently listed. It's down $849.30 today. $114,274.90. That's the price of a Bitcoin. Now, I have told you, I've had it explained to me 90 different times. I still don't get it.
Still don't understand what it is?
I just, but whatever. It is what it is. Society's buying into it. Okay. So there is, and this has been a story for quite a long time, that this guy from Newport, South Wales. So is that England, Kevin? That is England. Now is Newport, South Wales.
I think it's Australia. Wales.
Newport, South Wales. That's Australia. I can't believe you have to look this up. You're a world traveler.
Yeah, there's New South Wales, which is a state in Australia.
Newport, South Wales. That's how they list this guy. He I guess he's saying he did, tossed away a hard drive in 2013 that supposedly had 8,000 Bitcoins on it. So I don't even know how the Bitcoin works. You store it somewhere, right? Like it's a virtual wallet of some sort, and you got to have a code to get in to get to it. That's part of why it's not run by. Yes, Kevin.
It's in Wales,
which is
England. It's
England.
In the UK.
It is okay. Very good. See, I knew more than the world.
But you said New South Wales, and that's in Australia.
Newport, South Wales. So this guy is English. Okay,
Yeah.
very good. So the Bitcoin is you get access to it somehow.
Correct.
There's some sort of system or something. And this guy had 8 before they were anything, right?
Yep.
In
2013, he had 8,000 Bitcoins.
And somehow that hard drive
was thrown away during
away.
an office cleaning.
Now, you would think if you had 8,000 of anything that's any sort of investment on it, even if they were worth $1 a piece at the time.
Yeah, you'd still keep track of that.
It's still $8 grand.
Yeah. So when
I got $8 grand on that hard drive. Don't touch that thing.
When I signed up for the Ethereum, when did I do that? It was New Year's Eve of 21 or 22. You remember? I put $100 in.
Yes.
By the way, it's $81.59 right now. But when you sign up for that, they tell you, this is your code. Write this down. Put this in a safe spot because you'll never be able to access this again without this code.
And my understanding with the Bitcoin stuff, now I think there's companies that'll hold it for you or whatever, but then that's a whole thing because they got access to your stuff, whatever. Point is, it's not like the bank. Like if something happened at your bank and for some reason there is no Bitcoin customer service, that if you got that on your person, you're just locked out, right? Like if for some reason it's not registering your password correctly or whatever, you donezo.
Yeah.
Okay, so this guy had 8,000 Bitcoins that got thrown into a landfill.
Yeah.
And today they estimate that is worth roughly $950 million.
Yeah, and by 2030, it would be worth $8 billion. So he's been searching for his hard drive for 12 years. He even attempted to buy the landfill site where the hard drive is believed to be buried. And he got turned down. He lost the case against the Newport City Council.
And now, okay, why wouldn't you with the guy, though, if you're that city council going, all right, you think it's here, you find it, the city's in for 25% of the loot. You can search it all day, every day.
Right.
Whatever you get, we get 25% of it in order to give you access to our landfill or whatever. But the point is, apparently now he is, according to multiple sources, giving up his search for this hard drive.
Yeah, that's a really long time to keep looking for it. Now, there's some people who don't believe that it ever existed.
He's just making this up?
To begin with. Why would you make that up?
Well, attention. I mean, he's a highly sympathetic character to some extent. Think about all the things that have been written about him over the years.
It's going to be developed into a TV series.
Well, see, exactly.
Buried Bitcoin.
Now, that's a weird, I mean, that's a weird story to concoct.
Even if you did find it, chances are after 12 years, it would be corroded. And,
yeah.
I mean, what do you take that to the Apple store? Say, like, you know, can you help me recover this file?
Oh.
After a decade in a landfill? But what a gross job. Like, to go to the landfill every day and rifle through piles of garbage looking for one hard drive.
What a lonely, miserable existence.
Like, what do? You put in your earbuds and just start slopping through. But if it's really worth that much money, would it be worth your time?
No, because you're not going to find it.
But after...
You ever been to a landfill? You ever tried to sort through a landfill?
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to either.
I bet it's not pleasant. And I bet even $950 million, it's that unpleasant. Anyway, so I wanted to update everybody on that that's an incredible story. I know I think we've mentioned it multiple times over the years on this program, but he is apparently, James Howell is the guy's name. He is now calling it a day on his Bitcoin quest.
I'm done looking. All right, we have a couple AI stories coming up.
Oh, no.
It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy. Jeff Boggs will join us. Rumors of a Nigel sighting. Let's go.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
You know exactly why you need to remodel that kitchen of yours. The space, it's outdated. You can't move around like you used to. It doesn't work like it needs to. You want to entertain and you want to improve your quality of life. This can happen, just not with the kitchen you have. You need to call Booher Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BooherRemodeling.com. They can take that old kitchen that's deteriorating and broken down and turn it into something that works for you and your family. Their 5-step design process from start to finish, the consultation, the preliminary design, the design development, getting all the documents together, and then getting it done. The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in central Indiana. Booher Remodeling will guide you through the entire process, starting with the free initial consultation, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. Create that new kitchen. Design experts can use an existing layout or begin completely from scratch. Talk to Booher Remodeling today. B-O-O-H-E-R. BooherRemodeling.com. That's BooherRemodeling.com.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter? Right? And the best part? They accept Discover. Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Think of it as WIBC on 2x speed. Big opinions, great moments, and just enough chaos. The WIBC Mashup Podcast brings it all together in one fast, fun listen. New episode each weekday. Subscribe wherever you get your podcast.
Now share, working on a 9 months, trying to lose an awkward teenage blues.
What are we? You want to talk about artificial intelligence again?
Let's talk about artificial intelligence. It's everywhere, all the time.
Well, that'll be the focus of the next segment we're about to do, so why not?
So Donald Trump, he signed an order requiring AI models used by the federal government to be truth-seeking and ideologically neutral.
Is there anything, based on what we know about the past, 50 years of the federal government that you would describe as, what was the description that you just...
Truth-seeking and ideologically neutral.
At any point in the past 50 years, would you have ever described the federal government as, quote, truth-seeking or ideologically neutral? But yet we're supposed to believe this...
Not so much.
This uber-dangerous artificial intelligence, it's going to be that.
Okay, so they say that they're targeting woke AI, and the order aims to remove political agendas, such as references to, you guessed it, DEI. From AI used in government. But this is the part that's a little bit unclear. How will truth and neutrality be defined?
Well, what is truth? And what is neutrality? Like, okay, so a great example of this is this. We're going to have Tom LaBianco on next segment, top of the 10 o'clock hour. He's the journalist that broke these allegations of deep fake AI porn allegedly being shared in the lieutenant governor's office. And there are people out there that think by us even covering the story that we're being unfair, that we're horrible, we're being horrible, we're not journalists, but you know what I'm saying? I mean, like, we're commentators. We commentate on these. Occasionally we break stories here, but are we being unfair because we're covering it? Well, that's in the eye of the beholder. Obviously, we think these are serious allegations, one way or another, based on the fact that people have taken sides on this, that it needs to be covered, and we need to get to the bottom of it, and the truth needs to be revealed. But what does that make us? Well, that's all in the eye of the beholder. My point on all this is on about any topic other than is 2 + 2 4. Somebody can have an opinion on something, and then that shapes how artificial intelligence is going to respond. So the idea that it's going to be called down the middle, fair or foul, and everything's going to be above board is complete crap.
Okay, so the AI companies are going to have to prove that they're compliant with this order. But here's the kicker. The government is going to enforce the rules used by the government.
Sure.
They're going to police themselves.
And then it'll flip because Trump won't be in there forever, and there'll be a Democrat that'll get back in there, and then it's going to flip, and it'll be used for all sorts of other stuff. Right.
So the Office of Management and Budget, they have 120 days to give guidance on how companies should comply with this to be neutral.
It's funny. I was thinking about this rolling into work, and I've said at some point I should probably just film my conversations with myself as I come into work.
Oh, you should totally do that. What'd you say to yourself today?
Well,
what'd you tell yourself? You can do it. Were you motivating yourself?
Well, I
do pep talk.
I do. We have a lot of fun about how little I prepare for this show, but I do have a pretty good idea of what we're going to talk about, and I think of the higher up things that I know we're going to get to, and what my, takes on these things are going to be, and working through things that I think are important for the public to know. And, one of the things I was thinking about is how I've been contacted by many people over the past. It's getting to that time of the year where so-and-so is going to run for whatever. And this person is thinking about running for House or Senate or Congress or whatever. And I've reached a point in my life now where I'm largely just disinterested in all of it because it doesn't ever seem to matter who we put in there. The system just grows progressively worse. Like, you've been around me long enough to know, like, I would come in here and go, oh, guess who's thinking about running for this? Or guess you know, blah, blah, blah. And after the past year, I'm at the point now where it's like, even if I like you, it's like, I have no faith you'll follow through because every single person burns us and creates a system that is progressively worse than the system we had before, no matter what letter they put next to themselves, no matter what ideology they espouse. And it's just like, you read this stuff. Well, it will be ideologically, well, how'd they describe it?
Neutral.
Ideologically neutral. Well, what does that even mean?
Well, and that's the thing. They're going to have to define that. By the way, it sounds to me like you've been through betrayal trauma.
I've been through what?
Betrayal trauma.
Yeah. It was called the 2024 election case.
I know.
But the point is, okay, you know who's ideologically neutral? Us. We hate all of these people. And we tell you about it. We don't like any of them. The R's, the D's, the L's. We think they've all got their own complex set of issues, and we don't want anything to do with any of them, so we call them all out. And you know what? They all get mad at us. All those people down the street hate us. Why? Because we don't like any of them. But I'm supposed to believe that the government with ideological bent,
policing themselves on this, by the way,
is going to somehow be some altruistic.
Yeah, neutral. Okay, so the big trend on social media right now is obviously the AI generated videos, and many times it's taking someone who is deceased and bring them back to life. Some examples are George Washington, but it's going to a whole new level. At his concert in North Carolina, Rod Stewart played an AI generated video during his performance of Forever Young.
So Rod Stewart is on his farewell tour, right?
You're gonna Is that this weekend?
I don't know.
You're going to go see him.
Maybe.
You're taking your mom.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. She's now like...
You trying to back out?
Well, no, it's not me. I offered to go. She's like, I've seen him before. I don't know if I want to deal with the crowd, blah, blah, blah. So I don't know. It's still, it's to be determined.
Okay, well, spoiler alert. When he sings Forever Young, he plays an AI-generated video. And this was a tribute to Ozzy Osbourne, who just recently passed away. It's a deep fake showing Ozzy Osbourne holding a selfie stick, and he's with other deceased music legends. For example, Bob Marley, Kurt Cobain, Tupac Shakur, and Michael Jackson.
I'm reading the set list here. Oh, there's Downtown Train. He's playing Downtown Train on this tour. See, that does kind of ruin it, doesn't it? Where you can now get online and you can basically... The set list, I think, is largely the same with Rod Stewart. I don't think there's some great shakeup where he's pulling signs out of the stands.
Is he still making new music?
I don't see anything new on here. I mean, this is a farewell tour. Okay. Yeah, Downtown Train is on this list, which is an old Tom Waits song, which is my favorite Rod Stewart song. Ooh. That stings. Go ahead. What were you saying? Sorry.
I'm just saying that Rod Stewart is using AI to create some deep fakes of people who are dead.
But it's not pornography.
No. I believe they all have their clothes
and
on.
And they had to, like, do you have to have permission to make a deep fake of someone now, even if it's a lift you up?
Even if it's if everyone's completely clothed.
I'm not seeing handbags and glad rags on here, though. That's kind of disappointing.
Did you see Indiana was ranked as the #1 best road quality in the U.S.?
Oh, it says right here on the set list. Forever Young, dedicated to Ozzy Osbourne, with a Riverdance Irish Jug interlude.
Oh, there you go. Irish Jug interlude. Your mom would love that. You totally need to go.
I love that my mom was just like, even though she loves Rod Stewart, she's like, nah, I've seen it before. It's too many people. See, I got the perfect thing out of this. I tried to do something nice. I've checked the box. I offered to do the thing. Do I have to then actually do something nice for my mother if she declines the offer to do something nice for her?
Yeah, you should.
I have to find a new thing?
You did something nice for your dad. You should do something nice for your mom.
I have to find a new thing?
So, yeah, you're saying what? It's her choice to back out of the deal.
That's what I'm saying. I offered to do the thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the offer that counts. It's like a Seinfeld episode.
Isn't
the offer
Mm-hmm.
the thing that is the actual act of kindness? Is the offer to do kindness? And if someone doesn't take you up on kindness, then you're not obligated.
Well, if you don't go, you can't see the AI deepfake video. So you should totally go.
Oh, man, he's playing downtown train. Anyway, hey, Tom LaBianco's going to join us next. He has a massive updates, plural, on these allegations of AI pornography being shared in the Lieutenant Governor's office.
It's Kendall Casey on 93 WIBC.
Two of the best summertime traditions are back. The Indiana State Fair and the Indiana Farmers Dairy Bar since 1941. This year featuring the key lime pie milkshake and the smoked Gouda Q grilled cheese with Gouda cheddar barbecue sauce on Texas toast. The Indiana Farmers Dairy Bar since 1941. Open 9 to 9 at the Indiana State Fair, across from the Coliseum. Brought to you by American Dairy Association Indiana, your Hoosier Dairy Farm families. Find out more at winnersdrinkmilk.com.
Don't let that summer job go again because you don't have the right tools. At Quality Supply and Tool, now through September 26th, or while supplies last, there's a huge DeWalt sale going on. Buy select 20-volt bare tools and get a free 5-amp-hour battery. That's a $100 value. Buy a DeWalt 4-in-1 or 5-in-1 Tough System modular workstation and get two 2-drawer units free. That's more than a $200 value. Quality Supply and Tool has locations in Jeffersonville, Bloomington, West Lafayette, and South Harding Street in Indy. And Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box. Store.
I was struggling to maintain contact with the professional world.
Dr. Ferner of Indianapolis talks about why he got the new caption phone from Relay Indiana.
When I got the phone, it turned it around.
Go to RelayIndiana.com. That's RelayIndiana.com. And read up on the caption phone.
People that I talk with do not necessarily know that I have this service. It's a piece of cake.
Go to RelayIndiana.com to learn more.
Comprehensive cancer care is not just about treating cancer. It's caring for the person behind the diagnosis. It's our team by your side to listen, connect, and encourage, and to celebrate every milestone together. Because at Franciscan Health, your journey is our journey. Your victory is our victory. Your hope and trust in us to provide extraordinary cancer care with the latest advancements, plus a little extra TLC, is our mission. Learn more at franciscanhealth.org/cancercare.
So with all the choices of where you could buy your furniture and mattresses, here's why you should purchase your new Lazy Boy, Smith Brothers or Flex Steel Furniture, Tempur-Pedic, Sealy or Stearns and Foster mattresses, or Berlin Gardens and Pollywood outdoor furniture from Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Unmatched customer service during and after the sale. Have a service issue, they're just one call away. They deliver and set up for free if you live within 75 miles of their store in Columbus. Saves you hundreds. Family owned, worth the very short drive. ThompsonFurniture.net.
Grown-ups, don't go back to school. Go forward through school into your future as an IT professional. Whether you're starting out, switching careers, or a veteran ready for change, My Computer Career can help you get into IT in just a few short months with no prior experience. So take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Your rewarding career in IT awaits. That's mycomputercareer.edu. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the VA benefits.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, a grim discovery and now the identities of the two people found dead in their Greenwood home this week. What a Purdue student went through for a few days while in New York City. The sentence for an Indy man guilty of a double murder, and who the Fever have tonight as they look to extend their win streak. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Texas is entitled to 5 more Republican seats in Congress. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what President Trump tells CNBC. But GOP lawmakers in Texas can't vote on the redistricting plan he's pushing because Democrats left.
And you notice they go to Illinois for safety, but that's all gerrymandered.
California's gerrymandered. We should have many more seats in Congress in California. It's all gerrymandered.
The California Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom warns if Texas carries out the plan, he'll retaliate with his own redistricting to benefit Democrats.
Whatever they are doing will be neutered here in the state of California. And they will pay that price.
Meanwhile, Fox's Garrett Tenney reports from Chicago.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott has ordered the state police to help track down any of those missing lawmakers who are still within state lines. He's also ordered the Texas Rangers to investigate those Democrats for potential bribery violations over paying off their fines using political donations.
Palestinians report more deaths today in the ongoing attacks on crowds near food distribution sites. Fox's Bill Hemmer is in Israel and just visited Gaza and an American-backed site handing out food.
We spoke to several Palestinians. Almost to a person, they said they were hungry. They were trying to feed their families. They were all tired of war, and they did not want Hamas involved.
With no ceasefire deal in place with Hamas after talks broke down again, Israeli security officials will meet later today considering a reported plan to escalate the war and occupy Gaza. Back to President Trump on CNBC. 2 days before new tariffs go into effect on dozens of countries' imports, he warned the 25% charge for India might go higher, punishing India for supplying Russia with oil. The president also says he plans big tariffs next year on prescription drugs and treatments.
It's going to go to 150%, and then it's going to go to 250%, because we want pharmaceuticals made in our country.
America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Trying to piece things together. 71, partly cloudy in downtown Indy, a high of 82 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report is brought to you by Window Nation. Here's what's trending at 10:02. A mom and her 3-year-old son found dead in their Greenwood home Monday. The coroner identified them as 33-year-old Karen Clay and her son Carter. They live just off of US 31 near Smith Valley Road. People that live in the neighborhood spoke to Wish TV.
My question to myself was, damn, they're so close to me. How come I didn't hear that? How come I ain't hear no noise? How come I ain't hear no glass break?
Autopsies are now planned to help figure out how the two died. Investigators are still working on the case. A Purdue University student is out of federal custody after being detained last week by immigration agents while in New York. Yin-Soo Go was taken into custody Thursday after a visa hearing in Manhattan. Go speaking to PIX 11 after being released from custody last night.
Everything just feels surreal. I don't think the reality hit me yet.
The 20-year-old came to the U.S. from South Korea in 2021 with her mother and was preparing to return to West Lafayette for the new school year. An Indianapolis man is heading to prison for 90 years for a March double murder. On Monday, the Marion County Prosecutor's Office said Michael Hendricks received his sentence after pleading guilty to 2 counts of murder. James McGuire and David Doty were shot at a home on the southeast side of Indianapolis and later died from their injuries. Prosecutors say the shootings stem from a dispute over a $40 lawn care bill. Governor Mike Braun making some new appointments recently to state boards and commissions, including trustees for state colleges and universities. It's part of the governor's commitment to bringing in experienced individuals to critical organizations like the Indiana Criminal Justice Institute Board. And the Indiana Fever have Los Angeles this evening as they look to make it 6 wins in a row. Still no Caitlin Clark in the lineup, according to head coach Stephanie White.
Yeah, I mean, it's day-to-day right now. Yeah. We're really just putting no timetable on it, going through the rehab process, and then we want to reintegrate her from a strength and conditioning standpoint. She tried to come back a couple of times and just had setbacks along the way. So the most important thing for us is Caitlin's long-term health.
White talking to ESPN. Clark has not played since before the All-Star break. Tonight's tip-off set for 10 o'clock Eastern Time. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall and Casey back in 1 minute.
This is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and Zero Res is celebrating Pet Appreciation Month with something kind of nice for pet parents. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified for $129. Get 15% off pet odor treatments and $50 off air duct cleaning too. Look, pets have accidents, sometimes big ones, messy ones, the ones that make you gag a little when you're trying to clean up. And if you're thinking it's just dogs, cats can absolutely mistake carpets for a litter box. Vacuuming is just not going to fix that. Zero Res can clean virtually any surface in your home. And remember, Zero Res's patented ZR water cleans with no soaps, no residue, no harsh chemicals. And it's clean, safe, and effective, and that's why they have a 4.9 rating on Google with over 5,000 reviews. Just call Zero Res, mention WIBC, you'll get 3 rooms clean for $129, get 15% off pet odor treatments, and $50 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141, ZeroResIndy.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
See, there are updates.
What are you talking about, Rob?
We have an update on that story that we covered yesterday involving the allegations that employees in the lieutenant governor's office were allegedly viewing artificial intelligence pornography.
Deep fakes.
This is the most crazy. I've been covering Indiana politics and government on and off for 15 years, 9 here at WIBC. This is the craziest story I think I've ever heard.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty outstanding.
And the guy who broke the story, we talked about this yesterday. He is a national freelance journalist. His name is Tom LaBianco. You probably know him best. He wrote a big expose, a book on Mike Pence a couple years ago. And he joins us now on the WIBC hotline because we have updates. Let's read the headline. Indy prosecutor probes topless deep fake. Haggard blasts pornographic smear of his wife. Tom LaBianco joins us now to tell us all. Tom, hello.
Hey, guys. Yes, as one of my sources told me yesterday, this is one of the craziest things he's seen out of the State House since Dwayne Brown was sucking women's toes.
Okay, so let's start with the big. There's two big things that you revealed this morning. One is Craig Haggard has gone public. It is his wife who is allegedly at the center of having these deep fake pornographic videos made and shared.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So State Representative Craig Haggard represents suburban Indy down in Hendricks County. He issued a statement to me over at 24 Site News, and he says, "My wife and I are outraged and saddened that her singing at a charity event for mental health was turned into a pornographic smear of her and our family. State House leadership, rather than expressing concern for a victim of this criminal act, instead went into full find the leakers mode, seeking to cover up any role the lieutenant governor's office may have played in this affront to all women."
Okay, so is it safe to say then, obviously you talked to him, that he believes this occurred?
Oh, yes. And he's not the only one, as we report here. So the Marion County Prosecutor's Office yesterday began interviewing people as part of their investigation into this. And this appears to be developing very rapidly.
Okay, Tom LaBianco is our guest. He's a freelance journalist. You know him from Fox News, MSNBC, the Associated Press, et cetera. He is at the center of the stories, wrote these stories involving allegations of deep fake pornography being viewed, potentially shared in the lieutenant governor's office. Casey.
So last night, Lieutenant Governor Beckwith, he had a town hall in Terre Haute. He was asked about the video, and he said that he could not find evidence of it. He said it's baseless allegations. You have cited some anonymous sources. I guess, Tom, people are questioning, where's the proof in any of this?
Yeah, it's a good question, right? And as a veteran reporter, I think it's important to kind of lay out our process as professionals here. When I talk with people who witness this, I provide them anonymity to further confidentiality to be able to talk about this and report on it, so that they don't face retribution from Micah Beckwith, for instance. Beckwith, as I report in today's story, has undergone a leak investigation. He's trying to find out who's been talking to me. And so I will tell you that I would not have published the original story or this story without having the information coming from different corners, from different sources, right? So, the example I like to use is if I called up Kendall, he's like, yeah, man, Casey's racing in the 500 this year is going to be bonkers, right?
Which you'd be great at, Casey. You'd be phenomenal.
That would be awesome.
Right? And then I call you up, and you're like, all right, on background, I'm racing in this, all right? If I call two people who are friends, who are close, saying the same thing, that's only one source. And this is more than that. And I don't want to go too far out over my skis because I want to protect the people who have trusted me with their confidentiality, because this is serious. As we found out today and are finding out, it's potentially criminal what's happening inside the Lieutenant Governor, or what happened inside the Lieutenant Governor's office.
You had mentioned just in this previous answer, there have been more people who have seen this video than what you mentioned in your first article? Because you had just said one of your sources saw the video.
Yeah, there were, I don't want to get into numbers because I don't want to jeopardize people, but there were multiple people who witnessed this, in addition to Deputy Chief of Staff Greg Poles, who I was told is the one who was showing the video on April 10th, and lawyer on contract for Lieutenant Governor's office, Devin Norrick, who was also showing the video of Representative Haggard's wife, apparently topless.
Tom LaBianco is our guest. He's a freelance journalist. He has been reporting on these allegations of deep fake pornography being shared in the Lieutenant Governor's office. You're a national guy. How does a story like this even end up on your radar? You cover the president. You cover Washington, D.C. I think some people are asking, who is LaBianco? Because long-timers will know you from the Indy Star, but you don't work for the Star anymore. So, how does this even get on your radar?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've covered, I was the AP State House reporter for a while, like 2011 to 2015, then went to the Star, and, I remember when I was covering, Pence back then, when I moved out here to D.C. to cover the 2016 race for CNN. I remember talking with my then fiance back then, and I looked at her. I was like, well, that's incredible. I'll never have to write about Mike Pence ever again. Because, he is not Donald Trump. He is not exactly compelling as a storyline goes, right? It's not exciting, right? So, I keep my fingers in Indiana, right? I keep, stay up with my folks, and I'll tell you that, out here in D.C., people do talk about him, actually. He managed to kind of pierce the veil of the Beltway, which is a hard thing to do these days with all the news coming out of the White House, with his 3/5 compromise statement.
You're talking about Micah Beckwith, the Lieutenant Governor.
Yeah, he's starting to generate national interest, and I can tell you that I haven't reported this yet, but it'll probably be in a future story. The White House has actually asked about him to one of my Indianapolis sources, testing him out, seeing, if this guy's something, somebody they should be paying attention to. So he is starting to get some national attention. And, I keep up with my Indiana folks, and this is big. I mean, I'll tell you that the deep fake porn story it's a big national story right now. And, we report about this in the, today's story that, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said she was shocked finding out she'd been the victim of one of these. That was last year. First Lady Melania Trump testified earlier this year on the national legislation, making it punishable by up to 2 years in prison. So it's a really big story, and it crosses many different sectors.
Tom LaBianco is joining us, and my question for you, Tom, your article states that the Marion County Prosecutor's Office has begun interviewing people regarding the deep fake video, and unless there's evidence of this video somewhere on someone's state phone or computer, I go back to, what is the end of this? Unless someone can produce the video, it's just a he said, she said conversation.
Could be. I don't know as as much as I cover politics and the overlap of the courtroom and politics, which seems to be increasingly a thing nationally and all different levels. I'm not entirely sure what the evidentiary standards are for something like this. Clearly, obviously, if you have the video and if you're able to procure digitally, right? So I listened to the town hall that Micah Beckwith had last night, and he said that he conducted his own audit and his own internal investigation and found nothing. Well, there can be, forensic, actual digital forensic investigations done, depending if it proceeds to that point. Now, I don't know that that's something that would even happen at this point, right? This just started yesterday, according to my reporting. I think, the prosecutor's office just started talking with people yesterday about this. So, but it does seem pretty clear that, if you actually have the video versus it's eyewitnesses telling you about the video, that's obviously that would be a much stronger case, but remains to be seen, right? I don't know what the evidentiary standards are for in criminal procedure.
Hey, Tom, before we let you go, I want to come back to Representative Craig Hager, because this is big that he agreed to go public, and we talked about yesterday on the show. I talked to him yesterday. He relayed what I think are many of the same sentiments to me privately before he was comfortable going public that he put in the quote that you revealed in this article. Do you know what? Because he went after a whole bunch of people in what he told you, is my understanding. And do you know what he saw or what he's heard or what? Because you said earlier he definitely thinks this thing happened. Now it doesn't mean it did, but he's under the impression it did. Right. What led him to that?
Well, as we note here, so in the second part of the statement that he has here, I'll read it. Here he talks about confronting Senate President Rod Bray at a parade on Sunday, and the reason why is because he had found out that this was reported to the Senate Republicans, that this happened, and okay, why would you report something to the Senate Republicans? Because technically, the lieutenant governor of the state is the technical presiding officer, and of course, as we know, Micah Beckwith frequently would preside over sessions, so this does fall within their jurisdiction. So here's what he had to say. And actually, I should note, too, I reached out to Governor Mike Braun's office, and what they told me was, quote, the governor's office does not have any authority over the lieutenant governor's human resources matter, nor over those of any elected official. So here's the second part of Representative Haggard's statement. He says, quote, when given the opportunity to stand up for justice and the dignity of women, State Senate President Pro Tem Rod Bray said, I don't care. The governor's office, through a press staffer, said the governor's office does not have authority over lieutenant governor's human resources matter. Their lack of empathy is a disgusting display of disrespect for every female public servant who works in the Braun administration.
Okay, Tom, obviously this is like a daily thing now. If people want to read your updates on this, I assume you'll have a lot more coming out. How can they go about doing that?
Yeah. Head on over to 24site.news. That's the number 2424 SIGHT.news. I've got the latest story up there. I am deep in the reporting on this. This thing is rapidly developing, and I will be updating as soon as I find out reportable. We don't do rumors or any of that junk, all right? It's got to get the hard stuff, all right? So as soon as I get something hard, nail it down, there'll be another one.
All right, Tom LaBianco, we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.
Excellent. Thanks, guys.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's betting.
Now we pay for it. We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person's coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text SAVVY to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text SAVVY to 42424. That's SAVVY to 42424.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and right now we've all been feeling the heat. Been a little better the past 4 or 5 days, but you know that heat's going to return, and if your home isn't staying cool, your windows might be the reason why. You can blast the AC all day. If your windows aren't doing their job, that cool air is going right out the window. Literally, that's where Universal Windows Direct comes in, and right now, what a deal they have. If you've been thinking about replacing your windows, now is the time to strike. First of all, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. That's right. There's no limit. You got 8 windows you need replacing. You only pay for 4. Then on top of that, and this is the part I really love, you'll get no interest for 5 whole years. Yes, that's correct. 60 months of 0 interest financing, which makes upgrading your home not just smart, but affordable too. Some restrictions may apply. So to get all the details, and most importantly, schedule a totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today, 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Check them out on the web, universalwindowsdirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in experience and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Got to get to windownation.com right now to check out these incredible savings this month to get 50% off all Windows styles, 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest for 2 years. You could be paying nothing until 2027. Let me repeat that offer because I think it bears repeating. Window Nation, right now, 50% off all style windows and no money up front until 2027. Are you kidding me? I'm a Window Nation customer. I love my Window Nation windows, and you will too, especially with this offer.
Even if you're just thinking about getting new windows, call Window Nation and speak to a representative. Lock this deal in. Ask them how you can get all of the savings. 866-90-NATION. You can schedule a fast, free estimate with Window Nation. And if you want to get the savings, you need to speak to somebody today. 866-90-NATION or go online to windownation.com. But you have to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
See you tonight.
Oh, great job, Casey.
What's that,
Now
Rob?
my mom wants to go to the Rod Stewart concert again.
So your mom texted you, huh, and said, no, I want to go see Rod Stewart in concert.
I had it all perfect.
You asked her, and then she said, nah, it's okay. And now she's back on.
Yeah,
She wants to go.
I had checked all the boxes. The act of kindness, the offer. I had no obligation. Now here we go, Casey. What a partner you
You're going
are.
to see Rod Stewart in concert. It'll be a great evening for you and your mom.
All right. Okay, so
She's very sweet, by the way. Rob's parents are so nice.
Anybody who's ever met my father says, you are just so full of it, lady.
No, what? No, he's always lovely to me.
My father made a living being mean to people.
Well, he's never been mean to me.
That's because he likes you.
As he should.
He's like,
I like him.
My parents are like my kid. They're wonderful around everybody but me.
Yeah.
Everybody's wonderful to everybody else except when they're around me.
Well, he's on his best behavior every time I see him.
We have several pieces of news that we need to get to. First of all, Casey, what's my least favorite part of every show?
Oh, when you have to come on these very powerful
That's right.
airwaves and say that you're correct.
So if you remember when we started the program today, we were talking about this redistricting stuff, like with Texas, California, it's getting totally out of control. And I said that there was indeed a scuttlebutt that somebody very big was going to be coming to the greater central Indiana area to meet with the movers and shakers, the governor, et cetera, about pressuring because those phone calls had already begun for Indiana to get involved in the game. And now Punchbowl News is reporting that, now that sounds kind of wacky, but they're a pretty legitimate news site for what it's worth. Vice President J.D. Vance is considering a trip to Indianapolis on Thursday, where he's expected to talk to Republican Governor Mike Braun and the GOP legislative leaders about redrawing the state's congressional map, according to multiple sources familiar with the plans. Boy, howdy, Case. Do I have people or do I got the people?
Yeah, welcome back to the Midwest, Vice President.
Yeah. How about that? Okay, so we checked that box. Then, now apparently Rod Bray, the pro tem of the Senate, has spoken out on these allegations about AI pornography being shared in the lieutenant governor's office. This is a breaking set of commentary. He spoke to Tom LaBianco here just moments ago. And Representative Haggard had basically said that he tried to have a conversation with Bray and got blown off, who his wife is the one allegedly at the center of this deep fake pornography. And apparently Bray has now made a comment. I will just read you what LaBianco sent us in regards to that. Bray said Tuesday that he only learned of the deep fake video Sunday afternoon and did not say he, quote, didn't care when he spoke with Haggard. Quote, I get why he's angry, but I just said I didn't know anything about it. Deep fakes, quote, are horrible. They're criminal for a reason, so I hate that for him and his wife and his family. That's atrocious for him to have to go through this. Bray said he had not been contacted by the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Bray added, quote, I don't know anything about the allegation. That's a different office from ours.
Yeah.
So, again, nobody's out there like Bray is not like, that absolutely didn't happen and you're full of it. But then
he hasn't been contacted by the prosecutor's office.
So
again, I go back to the same questions that I had before we talked to Tom LaBianco, and those were: does LaBianco have motivation for writing this article, other than clicks and views? Who are his sources, and when will he be revealing them? When are these anonymous sources going on the record? What is the proof? Will there be forensic evidence, or will someone take an oath?
Yeah. I mean, look, there's a lot at play here. Here's the thing. He's named the guys. If they didn't do it, they should sue him for everything he's worth. If they didn't do it, he's named them. That's the thing that gets me. He put their names out there. He's not like high-ranking officials in the lieutenant governor's office. He put their names out there. If these guys didn't do this and sue him for everything he's worth, he would have no leg to stand on. He would have no leg to stand on. And I'm not saying they have to do it. They're free to live their lives and do whatever they want to do. There's just so many moving parts to this right now, and it appears law enforcement, at least allegedly, is getting involved in it. They'll obviously have freedoms and abilities if they decide to pursue it that a journalist doesn't have. Look, it's no different than us with the Diego India trip. We can't make Diego show us his bank account that proves he paid the money back, as he alleges. We don't have subpoena power to find out who paid for the trip initially. We don't have that ability. We're the media. We can dig. We can go, and we've said a while ago, we've taken it as far as we can. We tried to let that go, and Diego won't let it go. But the point is, if law enforcement gets involved, to whatever extent they choose to engage, then they will have certain liberties and freedoms that the media doesn't. And look, we don't know all that LaBianco's got. Nobody does. I'm sure he's probably, currently still working for us. Clearly is. He just talked to Rod Bray. So I think there's a long way to go in this. And if it turns out not to be true and that he made it up, and these guys can prove that, they should take him for everything he's worth. But there's like a long way to go with all this. I'd also be curious to know, Micah claims he's conducted some sort of investigation. What was that? Did he just look at the guys and go, did you do it? No? Okay, investigate. I mean, like what was...
How deep was the investigation?
What was that? And what's the motivation for this? Like what possible
The motivation from who?
on all sides. Like, what, LaBianco's sitting around in his underwear eating Cheetos and goes, I know I'll make up this story. That'll be fun. What would be the motivation of somebody in the office? That's such a weird thing to make up. Right? I mean, like, how would you even fathom that? I didn't even understand what it was. Like, it was the average person sitting around going, I know, I'll concoct this story about whatever. Representative Haggard seemed to speak pretty definitively. What has he seen? What does he know? So there's a long way to go in all of this. Who knows where the truth actually lies?
If there's anybody in that state house who does know the truth, I invite you to step forward.
Well, they should.
We would welcome you right here on the Kendall and Casey show.
Absolutely. And I've reached out to Representative Haggard. I offered for him to come on the show. Obviously, we know him. He spoke at the property tax rally. I talked to him the other day. Hopefully, he'll want to speak, he has spoken on the record in the sense that he spoke with LaBianco, but speak here locally. So there's such a long way to go with this story. And for the people who are like, well, this is crap journalism, you being us, shouldn't cover it. Okay, what's the standard? This is a known guy. He's covered national politicians for years. He's written books. He's been on Fox News, MSNBC, worked for the Associated Press, worked for the Indy Star. This is not some guy not putting their name to it. When does it become a story? This is my question to these people who are like, you're doing a horror, even covering this. Okay, then what's the standard? When should we cover or not cover something? We have said from the beginning, we don't know what the truth is. What we have is two very conflicting stories, two very conflicting accounts, and one of them is going to be right and one of them is going to be wrong because they can't both be right. You know who is never conflicting?
Our news department.
Jarrett Lewis.
Yeah.
And the news.
Yeah, he's up next on 93 WIBC.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
President Trump talking trade. Cloudy skies, 72 in the Circle City. The high today, 82. I'm Jarrett Lewis for Moss Roofing. Here's what's trending at 10:32. President Trump discussing his trade deal that he made with the European Union during a phone interview on CNBC's The Squawk Box Tuesday morning, where he claimed they would be giving the USA massive investment of $600 billion.
A couple of countries came, how come EU is paying less than us? And I said, well, because they gave me $600 billion. And that's a gift. That's not like, a loan. By the way, that's not a loan that, 3 years comes up, we have to pay it back. There's nothing to pay back. They gave us $600 billion that we can invest in anything we want.
The EU announced Monday they would be suspending their planned tariffs against the U.S. for 6 months. An EU spokesperson recently called the agreement a means of restoring stability and predictability for both parties. NATO is coordinating deliveries of regular and large weapons packages to Ukraine.
NATO agreed to oversee the deliveries after the Netherlands said it would provide equipment worth more than $500 million, most of which would be bought from the U.S. 2 deliveries are expected this month. European allies and Canada are buying most of the equipment they plan to send from the U.S., but the Trump administration is not giving any arms to Ukraine. Germany plans to deliver 2 more U.S.-made Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine in the coming days. The Kiel Institute, which tracks support to Ukraine, estimates that as of June, European countries had provided more than $80 billion worth of military aid since Russia's invasion of Ukraine in 2022, compared to $65 billion in U.S. aid.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. Texas Democrats are facing arrest after leaving the state amid a battle with Republicans on an effort to redraw the Texas congressional map. Democrats across the country have been criticizing the GOP for its redistricting efforts, saying it would make it harder to regain the majority in Washington. And Sean Diddy Combs is staying in jail until October, when he will be sentenced for his prostitution-related conviction, as a judge rejected his bail application. The defense proposed a $50 million bond and travel restrictions, including potential house arrest and electronic monitoring. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Woohoo! Hear that? That's what having fewer hot flashes and night sweats can sound like. Veoza is the #1 prescribed hormone-free treatment FDA approved for moderate to severe vasomotor symptoms, also known as hot flashes and night sweats, due to menopause. Veoza can cause serious side effects, including liver problems. Your doctor will do blood tests before and during treatment. Stop Veoza and call your doctor if you have symptoms of liver problems, such as feeling more tired than usual, decreased appetite, nausea, vomiting, itching, yellowing of the eyes or skin, pale stool, dark urine, or stomach pain. Don't use Veoza if you have cirrhosis, severe kidney problems, kidney failure, or take CYP1A2 inhibitors. Ask your doctor about Veoza. To learn more, call 1-866-239-1637 or go to Veoza.com. That's VEOZAH.com.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Well, check this out. August is Pet Appreciation Month. Really, are you supposed to appreciate those little stinkers when they poop or pee on the carpet because you oversleep 5 whole minutes? This is Denny Smith, and let's appreciate the folks that help you really clean up things after those little accidents. I'm talking about Zero Res. Before we get any deeper into summer, you can get 3 rooms Zero Resified for $129. Get 15% off pet odor treatments and $50 off air duct cleaning too. And they can handle virtually every surface in your home from floors to air ducts. Zero Res means zero residue, and it's in the water they use. The unique ZR water uses no soap, no harsh chemicals, and leaves no residue. Just healthy, fresh surfaces. Zero Res cleans our floors, and I'll tell you that it's simply amazing, and it works. Call now. Mention WIBC. You'll get 3 rooms cleaned for $129. Get 15% off the pet odor treatments and $50 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141, ZeroResIndy.com.
Weekday mornings at 7:15, the Tony Katz Popcorn Moment. Brought to you by Boer Remodeling. Don't wait any longer for the kitchen you've been dreaming of. Request a consultation at BoerRemodeling.com.
Elon Musk is learning the hard way. I mean, in a really expensive way.
Mm-hmm.
You shouldn't support any of these people. Any of the groups, any of the candidates.
Yeah.
These people, you can trust them as far as you can throw them.
But isn't this interesting? Because Building America's Future, which is a political nonprofit partially funded by Elon Musk, is now spending over $1 million on an ad campaign. And it supports the One Big Beautiful Bill Act signed by Donald Trump.
So Elon Musk gave to this group, Building America's Future. Now, does it say when the last, I don't think, according to this article, I don't think he's given recently, but I think he gave them a bunch of money because they were aligned with Trump.
Right.
And now they are using that money that he gave them to promote TV ad, internet ad, etc., the passage of the big bullcrap bill, which Elon Musk hates. So you want to talk about a double stinger. Not only did you give all these guys all this money and then they didn't follow through, now some group you gave money to is running ads.
Right.
Yeah.
So Elon Musk, he opposed it. He called it a disgusting abomination and also a disaster. Him and Donald Trump had a very public clash on social media. And now we're going to use his money, though, to promote the One Big Beautiful Bill. It's a 30-second ad. It's titled Independence.
Yeah.
And it's going to air nationally on Fox News starting Monday. So the ad is going to praise the bill for eliminating taxes on tips and overtime, which, you you hear all these stories about Vegas dying. Isn't that where the tax on tips originated?
Well, it was a legalized vote buying scheme for the state of Nevada. That's exactly what that was about. Sure.
The ad is also going to praise doubling the child tax credit, cutting taxes for seniors, and helping working families keep more of what they earn.
How about the deficit? Anything about, or the national debt? Anything in there about what it's going to do to the national debt?
No.
Anything in there about inflation?
No.
No mentions there? Huh, well, that's weird. See, I'm glad you brought this story to my attention, because sometimes I get a little... Sometimes the case I
you
get
go soft.
I get a little downhearted about about how the gov and lieutenant gov, well, they basically lied to the public and stabbed everybody in the back and didn't do anything they promised, and now they're just out, doing photo ops, going to candy stores and Pizza Kings and state fairs and blah blah blah, and we got to sit here and deal with their non-compliance in the things that they espoused they wanted to do. And, people got mad at me for a while about that. And, I took a flyer, because here's the thing. People are always like, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday, 2 days ago now, in fact, I think. And they said, people are always like, Rob never wants to say who he supports. Rob never stands up for anyone. Rob just says everyone's bad. Well, the one time I did it, look at how bad that went for me.
Look how that turned out.
Yeah, and for a few days, some people were kind of upset about all the things that happened in the legislative session. And then, I said, I'm sorry, I tried, I'll never try again. And somebody else can be in charge of deciding who to vote for going forward. And I'll spend the next 3.5 years on these airwaves getting my revenge. At least I didn't lose any money in the process.
Yeah, that's true, unlike Elon Musk, right? So Musk, you remember, he vowed to fund any challengers against Republicans who backed the bill. He also launched that new political group, the America Party. How's that going? Have you heard anything about that?
I have no idea. I don't know. I don't know. This is my point. And so it goes back to the drive in that I had the other day. And it's interesting. My wife and I were having this conversation the other day, and we were talking about learning lessons in life. And for me, the past year has just been another lesson. But my whole life, I feel, has been like a variety of lessons. Like, I've owned businesses that did very well. I've made investments in businesses. If you're thinking about buying a radio station, don't do it. That have not done so well. And we were talking about, I said, for me, I'm able to process things now at 40 years old, where it's sometimes, while the thing itself is harmful to you in some capacity, what you learn from it and what you take from it.
Forward.
Like owning that radio station, I learned so many things in that radio station that helped me move and benefited me throughout the rest of my life that have ended up being priceless. So you can't look at, well, I lost X amount of money on whatever, because then you got to look at all the businesses you made money on. And so in terms of politics and Micah and Braun not following through or doing the things they promised or making the state better or being just complete wimps and clearly just wanting to be politicians and not caring about the people, yeah, that stings. But if the lesson out of that is don't believe anybody's bullcrap anymore. No matter how much you think you can trust somebody or how much you think that they're going to follow through on something or how much you want to believe, you just can't do it. And look at Elon Musk. This makes me feel so much better about myself, Casey, because I lost $0. Just my dignity and my gas. That's all I lost.
His lesson cost a lot more money. Well, what's the saying? Thomas Edison learned 100 ways not to make a light bulb. Yeah.
And then that's in this business, in our field, you got to just, it's water off a duck's back. And my wife was like, how do you do that? And I said, because I've been through it so much and I've had so many good experiences and so many bad experiences. You process it, you go with it. If you don't learn anything from it, if you don't do anything different going forward, then yeah, it's a sunk cost, or it's a lost cause. It's bad, but it's a sunk cost at this point. And for Elon Musk, I hope he's learned. I hope for Elon Musk, it is just a multi-billion-dollar revenge tour that he goes on.
Okay, well, speaking of making money, don't cry for him. He's wiping his tears with $100 bills.
Right.
He's Tesla is now giving Elon Musk 96 million shares, which is worth about $29 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is an interim payment. It's a good faith move. It was supposed to be originally $56 billion pay package from 2018. But Delaware judge ruled
remember they got axed
that was unfairly negotiated, and struck it down. So now they've got this new deal. and Tesla is going to be giving him $29 billion. They're like, please, Elon, don't leave.
Okay, so
there's a whole lot of money.
Just remember in life, this is to the audience, not to you, because I know you know this, but every experience, if you can take something with it, something that will help you later in life, there is value in that thing. And sometimes you really do struggle on things that are hard, or people who let you down, or things that you're like, I invested in, whether it's a person or a thing, and it doesn't work out. But I think you can almost always find something that you've learned from it, and that little nugget or that little thing, or sometimes a big nugget or a big thing, may end up saving you so much down the road that you'll look back and go, okay, that's why the Lord put me through that. So just remember in life, even bad experiences, you can find, in most cases, things that will help you down the road.
Well, the lesson I think that Elon Musk learned is that he needs to focus, because Tesla had a 16% drop in earnings, and he warned that they're going to have some rough quarters ahead.
All right, Hammer's next.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, President Trump going after banks for rejecting conservatives. Oh, I'm here for that. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is zero and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year, or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Hey guys, it's Rob for my friend Mark Dietel. We talk about Mark Dietel a lot, and right now Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest market. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with the proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with our pal Mark Dietel. Maybe you want a fast, guaranteed, no-hassle home sale, but don't want to give up hard-earned equity to do it. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Dan and Casey right here in Indianapolis had to say about working with Mark Dietel. It's time to downsize, and we need to sell our old house quickly at full value. Mark Dietel made it happen. We got our asking price in a few weeks without any repairs or an appraisal. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold, or he'll buy it. Call Mark Dietel, 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Hello, we're here with a special guest, Jeff Jr., CEO of Trajan Wealth and filmmaker behind Retirement on the Brink. Jeff, welcome.
Well, thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me. It's great to be here.
Jeff, you've been in finance for a long time. Why make a movie?
Well, after years of seeing people struggle, we needed better retirement education. And Retirement on the Brink, it offers real actionable insight.
Well, it's a documentary that's resonating with folks. I know it did with me.
Yeah, that's right. Real stories from real people, as well as industry experts, are featured in the film.
Many of our listeners have their own financial stories. Jeff, what's the biggest takeaway from Retirement on the Brink?
Well, retirement planning isn't just about numbers. It's about understanding your goals, creating a plan for the life that you want, and finding a trusted advisor to help. And I'll end by saying space is limited, so visit retirementonthebrink.com for VIP access and showtimes.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company. DBA in most states has Trajan Wealth Insurance Solutions.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
The news everyone's talking about, you'll find it at WIBC.com. The latest from City Hall, the White House, or the State House. Updated all day. Don't miss what matters. Stay in the know while you're on the go at WIBC and WIBC.com.
Well, this should be fun. Jason Hammer is here. What do you have for us today?
So yesterday, we were talking about WKRP. One, it's only odd that show had only made 4 years of episodes. Felt like it was on for longer, but had a great 4-year run. And this was because Lonnie Anderson had passed away. You guys talked about it. We talked about it. Guy Relford and I got into a debate on our show yesterday, and I want to bring you guys in here.
Okay.
The 1-2 combo of WKRP coming to the table of hotness with Lonnie Anderson's character, Jennifer, and Bailey Quarters. That's a pretty strong 1-2 of hotness right there. I think if you did a survey and said, which one is hotter, you're going to get close to 50-50.
Yeah, was Jan Smithers, wasn't that her
Jan
name?
Smithers.
Yes, yeah. A lot of people thought on the Quiet that Bailey Quarters was the better of the two.
I always identified with her more. She just seemed more like the girl next door,
I
not
think
the
glasses.
Yeah.
I think that's it. I think that's why so many dudes would have looked at her, young guys or whatever, and been like, I like her better.
She was always kind of like the Pam Dauber from Mork and Mindy type of girl. Just, girl next door.
Well, and that goes to
Relatable.
Gilligan's Island, too, right? I think if you did a poll, half would say Ginger, half would say Marianne. I was kind of team Marianne a little bit. So those two shows, WKRP, Gilligan's Island, that's a pretty strong 1-2 combo of hot chicks, right? Is there any other show? And Bailey and Casey, let me know if there's like a dude version. I don't know if there is or not. But is there any other show that could come to the table with two folks that hot that would divide the public?
Okay, so the first one that comes to mind is Friends, because everybody thinks Jennifer Aniston is the most beautiful person ever. And then Courtney Cox, I guess, would be the two, although obviously Lisa Kudrow is in there as well. Although you were telling me that there's a bunch of people that and you're one of them, you don't think Courtney Cox is all that great.
I never was a Courtney Cox fan. I wasn't. And I think if you did the Family Feud style survey, it would be overwhelmingly Jennifer Aniston's one and then pick the second place. Well, I'm looking for some balance here.
So that's the thing. You're looking for two where they're equal. It's not the collective score.
Correct. Two smoke shows that have divided the public.
So a couple things. I think Rob probably likes Courtney Cox because she was in that Bruce Springsteen video all those years ago.
That made her career.
Where would you rank Laverne and Shirley on the hotness level?
Below Friends, maybe below Bosom Buddies. When the guys dressed up as women, greater than Laverne and Shirley. Although Shirley had her moments.
Is there a guy version, Casey, of that?
Well, you mentioned Friends, and that's the one that comes to mind with Joey Tribbiani and Chandler Bing.
What about Miami Vice?
Oh, well.
Well, the other guy, Don Johnson.
Philip Michael Thomas.
Thank you. I forgot his name. I'm sorry.
Again, going by the survey metric here, everybody would say Don Johnson overwhelmingly.
You're right. I see
what
what you're saying.
about from MASH, Hawkeye, and who's the other guy? Trapper John.
Were chicks thirsty over those dudes?
They were pretty busy there.
Okay.
At the 407-7.
Okay. The A-Team, like anybody like Mr. T or Dirk Benedict. Like any other show, whether it's with dudes, whether it's with chicks, YouTube chat, Twitter, let us know. Can any other show come to the table, like a regular show, not some porn show or something, with two smoke shows that can divide the public like that?
Does it have to be television? Does radio count?
It's got to be television.
What are you going back to the 40s, Casey? What are you doing here?
No, I was thinking of Hammer and Nigel.
Two
smoke shows.
Yeah, I got you. Okay,
right there.
The YouTube feed of
You're
Hammer and
right.
Nigel.
That
boy,
count?
that is a great question.
Because those shows are both older, right? And you would think in this day and age of plastic surgery and all the bleach blonde bimbos with the fake cans, there would have been a show.
Melrose Place or something?
Equally divided. 90210, maybe. There were some Brenda people, there were some Kelly people, but I don't think they have anything to offer against the lineup that WKRP and Gilligan's Island come to the table with.
Okay, totally. No, I got one. Saved by the Bell.
Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
Okay. Kelly Kapowski, and then you had pick it between Jesse Spano or Lisa Turtle.
And then on the guy side, some people were Team AC Slater, some were Team Zach Morris, some were Team Screech.
It's weird you bring this up. I posted about a random Saved by the Bell character on my personal Facebook page today. Belding's brother, Rod.
Who was a very, very well-assembled man, especially for the time with the Fabio look.
Right. Was going to take the kids on a whitewater rafting trip for their senior trip, which is a dangerous idea. No school board would ever sign off on it. And he ultimately ends up bailing on the kids to go hook up with a smoke show stewardess named Inga.
And was never seen or heard from ever again.
No, never.
Just disappeared.
She was a 10, Rod. She was a 10. Oh, yes. The Fabio-looking brother of Mr. Belding.
He just disappeared. Went on the trip and was seen or heard from ever again. They got stuck in the middle with that character, and they're like, what do we do with them? It's like Poochie the dog on The Simpsons.
Poochie the rockin' dog. One of the great episodes of all time.
I have to go now.
He's so in your face. Like politicians do that, right? They shove somebody in your face and they tell you how extreme they are and how fun and how cool.
Yeah.
You know who it reminds me of? Like those nerds on the Ruthless podcast. They just signed some deal with Fox. They got some dork wearing sunglasses. It's Poochie the rockin' dog. He's all in my face.
Speaking of in your face, what are you going to be in our face with this afternoon?
Nige is back, and Jeff Boggs will join us. It's always fun when not Kenny Rogers calls in. And we've got Rod Stewart tickets to give away.
Oh, can I win those?
Rod Stewart tickets.
Well, if you're caller number 9 and you win the game, Rod Stewart or Tony Stewart, you'll have a chance.
Sounds good. Thanks, Hammer. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Kids are heading back to school, and let's be honest, you're finally getting the house to yourself again, which makes now the perfect time to take care of that roof, siding, or gutters you've been putting off. And Moss Roofing is here to help. Moss Roofing has been helping Central Indiana homeowners for 34 years. They're family-owned, locally rooted, and known for doing things right every single time. Free inspections, honest advice, and top-quality work on roofing, siding, gutters, and windows. They treat your home like it's their own, and they clean up like they were never there. That's why they've got great reviews and a loyal following of happy homeowners. So don't put it off any longer. Let Moss Roofing check your roof, your siding, and your gutters to make sure they're ready for the winter ahead. For your free inspection, call 317-747-3665. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-747-3665. Moss Roofing, 747-3665, or online at Moss, M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Life Church. We love Life Church, and they've had an incredible impact on my life and my family's life. Now, we go to the Eagle Creek campus, but the great thing about Life Church is they make it super easy for you with 4 campuses across Central Indiana: Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton. Plus, if you want to see what it's all about, you never even have to leave the comfort of your own home because they have incredible online services. Life Church is warm, they're welcoming. They would love the opportunity to meet and welcome you and your family. Check them out on the web. Learn more about everything. LifeChurchIN.com.
The most extraordinary thing a woman can do is let herself be human. We try to do it all, sure, but what if we're just not feeling it? Like when the fatigue hits, but you gotta bring snacks to the soccer game? Or when the laundry's piling up, but that hot flash says, too bad. We get it. Franciscan Health has care for extraordinary women who can do it all, but don't have to. Visit franciscanhealth.org/OBGYN today.
Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joiner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joiner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in Central Indiana, and the best place to start is joinerhomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joiner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joiner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joinerhomes.com.
You hear that? That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZQL Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZQL Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, who police say was found dead inside a Greenwood home this week. The chances of more rain this afternoon and warmer temperatures, and what one of the leaders of the Colts defense is saying ahead of their first preseason game. You're listening to 93 WIBC. It's 11 o'clock.
They got him. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. A quadruple murder suspect captured in Tennessee this morning after a week-long manhunt for Austin Drummond. Wanted in the killings of 4 people from one family, discovered missing after a baby was found abandoned and alive in a car seat 40 miles away. But the search for another quadruple murder suspect continues in Montana.
If he's mentally unstable, I think there's some question there. If he had time to dispose of the clothing he was wearing when he committed the murders, and get himself clothed again and steal a vehicle.
Michael Brown was last seen fleeing a bar in Anaconda after 4 people were shot to death Friday. Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen also just told Fox.
This is a mountain town. There's a lot of timber. There's a lot of really, really thick undergrowth growing up the side of these mountains that makes searching really, really difficult.
Despite fines and threats of arrests, dozens of Democratic Texas lawmakers remain out of state to block a vote on Republican congressional redistricting.
Democrats are no longer going to sit by handcuffed. This is an all-out war, and everything is on the table.
State Rep Julie Johnson is among those now in Illinois.
Ultimately, they'll have to come back at some point, just, months, years. I mean, how long is it going to be? We don't know.
That's State House Republican Brian Harrison, who also tells Fox Democrats in blue states have redistricted in their own favor for years.
They're just mad that a Republican state is finally the one that's redistricting to more appropriately reflect the values of the state of their voters.
Responding to an international outcry over starving Palestinians in Gaza, Israel, which accuses Hamas of stealing a lot of the food sent in, has a new plan
to allow for more goods to be in markets across Gaza and allow for people who need the humanitarian aid to get to it first. All of this coming in parallel to reports overnight that Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu briefed local media indicating that the Israeli military will completely occupy the Gaza Strip.
America's listening to Fox News. Hello.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Waiting to determine the cause. Skies are partly cloudy. It's 73 in the Circle City. The high is 82. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This report brought to you by Gutter Helmet. Here's what's trending at 11:02. The Johnson County coroner says a mother and her young son were found dead in their home Monday. Ryan Hedrick reports.
The boy's name, Carter Clay, and his mother, Karen, both found dead inside of a home in Greenwood Monday. This woman lives next door, she told Wish TV.
It's definitely scary when you don't know, what happened. Are they out here just watching? What could possibly be going on?
Police were called to the home Monday and found the decomposing bodies. The house is not far from US 31 and Smith Valley Road. Ryan Hedrick, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Yen Soo Go, who is from South Korea and goes by Sue, was taken into custody Thursday following a visa hearing in Manhattan. The Purdue University student was released from federal custody last night after being held by immigration agents in New York last week.
It's so great. It's better than ever.
Sue speaking with PIX 11 TV. The Department of Homeland Security says she stayed in the U.S. longer than her visa allowed, but her lawyer says her visa is valid until December of this year. Some rain this morning with more possible this afternoon. Meteorologist with the National Weather Service, Aaron Updike, says we could see some heavier stuff in some areas too.
They're going to be pretty heavy rain producers, so if you happen to be right underneath one, you might get 2 to 3 inches of rain with it and some localized flooding, so just be aware of that this afternoon.
Temperatures will also heat up as the week goes on. We could be in the low 90s again. Colts linebacker Zaire Franklin says they can't let certain setbacks during camp rattle them.
We got to win. We got to compete. We got to keep growing. We got to keep grinding. This team is on a process. There's guys out here that need those reps to compete and get better. We're trying to be the best teams that we could be so we could win.
The Colts are 2 days away from their first preseason game against the Baltimore Ravens. Still no telling who will be the starter at quarterback for that game. And the Indiana Fever are on the road tonight, taking on the Sparks in Los Angeles. The Fever can capture their 6th win in a row. Caitlin Clark still out listed as day-to-day. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level on the go and on WIBC.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? If the holes are too big, debris gets in and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top, and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home, and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET, or gutterhelmetindy.com, and never clean your gutters again.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, so coming up next segment.
Yeah.
This is a fascinating guest we have. It's the former head of the FDA, right?
He is a former FDA commissioner.
And he's going to talk with us about how much money nonprofit hospitals and the people who run them are making in the state of Indiana.
Even though there are subsidies that they receive.
Yeah, even though you as a taxpayer are keeping them afloat. And this was a big part of the conversation when they tried to do this healthcare reform stuff during the last legislative session. Now, I don't think much meaningful actually got done. But this is going to be a really interesting conversation because you think of a nonprofit hospital, you think of the Little Sisters of the Poor or Mother Teresa or whatever, and this guy's going to lay out how much these nonprofits are actually making, some of them.
And the people who run them.
Yeah. So this could be very interesting. But first...
Proving once again that we got into the wrong business.
Yeah, we did. I mean, we should have been in the fair business or the nonprofit hospital business. There's still time, Casey.
Yeah. Okay, I'll get on that. So Peter Pitts is going to be joining us coming up in just a little bit. But first, some breaking news. Subpoenas just went out to several politicians.
Oh.
This is to compel them to testify in front of Congress. And, the list is dicey.
But again... I mean, how many times have we been through this? How many different topics have we had? Ooh, the big subpoena list is going on. Ooh, so-and-so's going to have to go in front of the Hill. Ooh, they're going to get him this time. And then nothing happens.
Well, they're supposed to testify about the Epstein case.
Oh.
So we'll see how many of these people show up. But you want to hear some of the names on the list?
Sure, absolutely.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Former President Bill Clinton.
Oh.
Former U.S. Attorney Merrick Garland. Former FBI Director James Comey. Former U.S. Attorney General William Barr. And it just keeps going on.
Alberto Gonzalez, Jeff Sessions, Robert Mueller, Loretta Lynch, Eric Holder. Now, there's a variety of things they want to ask these people about, right? Isn't like the Russia thing part of this too? And I mean, like they're just not gonna, nothing ever happens to any of these people, though. So, I'm over this. Again, it's right back where I am with the politicians, and so-and-so's running for so-and-so. It's like, okay, so what?
Can they do that? Can they tiptoe into other waters? Can they ask him about the Russia hoax while they're there? Because everything I'm seeing is that the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, received the subpoena for documents, and it was all related to the Epstein case.
But I mean, Fox News headline says Comer subpoenas the Clintons, Trump's, DOJ, and House oversights Epstein. So the DOJ, well, okay. I guess then they will stay with that. I mean, I was understanding this, that they were just going to be able to open the door and ask about a variety of things, which I guess you're a congressman, you can ask whatever you want. But I guess
if they're already under oath, just start asking them everything.
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's some sort of, I mean, you see that where they'll pivot onto something else or whatever. But okay, again. You brought charges against the guy. What evidence did you have to charge the guy? You still seemingly, unless it has been destroyed, which that's a gigantic story if the evidence has been destroyed, have access to all of this. So why do we need any of these people? What's the evidence that you had that put this guy behind bars? Can someone answer
Maxwell.
And Maxwell. There's two of them, right? What is that? There has to be something more than just rumor and innuendo. What evidence was that? And you can't even get that. So, look, at this point, it's sort of, I'm not saying the topic is similar, but it is similar to what has happened with Joe Hogsett. What did we tell you last fall when they announced this big investigative committee and we're bringing in an outside firm? And what about it? What did I say? I said this is going to take months and months.
Cost a lot of money.
It's going to cost a lot of money. They're going to hope that you lose interest in it. Then they're going to come out with some bullcrap report that makes somebody fall on the sword, but nobody's going down. And then nothing will change. Casey, what happened?
Exactly that. Nothing changed.
Exactly. And this is the thing that's going to happen here with this. They want to just drag it out, right? They are slow walking this in the hopes that you lose interest. You go on to the next thing. There's some big event that people start looking over there. That's what this is all about. They have the evidence they prosecuted these guys with. What is it?
Do you think that this is just see if they'll show up?
No, it's a charade. It's dinner theater. It's beef and boards. All of this is dinner theater at this point, where they want you to think it's everything in the government. They want you to think they're working. They want you to think they're doing something. They want you to think they're trying. You know what you can't do if you solve the problem? You can't fundraise off of it.
Yeah, there's that. Well, you know what problem we do have still?
What's that?
The cost of groceries.
Oh, yeah, that's. Have you shopped lately?
Yeah.
When was the last time you went grocery shopping?
Last weekend.
Yeah. Do you do the thing that I do where first of all, when you grocery shop, do you
stick to the list?
Well, I'm saying, do you go all at once? Like I'm shopping for a whole week or 2 weeks at once, and then you just do it and you're done with it? My wife and I trade on and off, and I think we do this to fool ourselves, where we go 2 or 3 times a week and just do days at a time. I think to ease the pain.
So you don't get one big bill, so it's spread out.
So I went last night. Kid loves strawberries, so she's out of strawberries. So I gotta go get strawberries. So I went and got, like, I'm trying to think of my list here. I got some strawberries, bananas. She loves those little goldfishy crackers, whatever those are. Ice cream.
What do you call them? Do you call them goldfishies?
I don't know whatever. I think I think the Walmart brand is a penguin. We get the Walmart brand, so I think it's a penguin, right? She hasn't figured that out yet. That there's a difference. I'm sure that'll become the world's biggest deal once that enters her train of thought. But it was like a couple other minor things, and it was like $46 or $47, and it's just like, what am I buying here that should be this much money? This is not that long ago a $25 or $30 purchase, and now it's $46, $47.
Yep. So there's a new poll out, and it says that a majority of U.S. adults are stressed about rising grocery prices. 53% call it a major source of stress.
Boy, you don't say.
Yeah, I believe that. 33% say it's a minor source. Other financial stressors include housing, low savings, and health care costs.
You think about your life, right? So there's part of becoming an adult, and you don't even realize it until you're in the throes of adulthood, is just figuring out how to navigate existence. Like, does that make sense? Like, where you just got to plot. Like a great golfer in a major golf tournament isn't always the best golfer. It's the guy that can plot his way around the course the best. Like, what shot do I hit here?
Which club should I use?
It may not be my best shot, but it's the shot I need to hit here. And that's usually the guy, especially the big tournaments, who wins the tournament. The guy who can plot most effectively his way around the golf course. As an adult, at 40 years old, I realized that is life. I'm plotting my way every day around a major golf tournament where, like, just how do you successfully, not even effectively live your existence from one day to the next. And gosh darn it, Case, it's not easy.
Crying in the shower helps sometimes.
I was thinking about this the other day. I have a job I really love. Like, I have a job I look forward to every single day. My hobby, by the way, Casey, you asked me what I was doing last night. What did I do?
What did you do?
I sent you. What did I send you?
You were watching Chris Hansen videos again. I watched the Becoming Led Zeppelin.
Is it good?
Documentary on Netflix.
Is it good?
Yes, I enjoyed it. I mean, you have to be a fan of Led Zeppelin because
Well, who's not a fan of Led Zeppelin?
A lot of long concert shots, and they play the full song quite a few times.
This is the thing that Kev and I were supposed to go to the theater and see, right? And then Kev no-showed.
Is
this it? That's what I'm asking you.
I believe so.
Oh, yeah, the Led Zeppelin.
Remember, we were all
Wasn't
excited.
that what it was called? Becoming Led Zeppelin?
Yeah.
We were going to go to the IMAX, and then you just ghosted me.
Yeah, we kind of missed our boat on that.
Yeah, that happens a lot with you, where you're like, yeah, let's do that, and then we just never we never do it. I get the memo, Kev. I understand. Your voice is being heard loud and clear over here. So this is it, and you said it's pretty good.
I enjoyed it. You know, I always was a Robert Plant fan.
Yes.
But after watching the documentary, I think Jimmy Page is now my favorite.
Well, now I have to get on Netflix and watch
in the
that.
band.
Anyway, the point being, like, your life now, because of the expense of everything, and just trying to navigate. Life is hard enough, but now you have to navigate, especially, like, I enjoy what I do every day. I enjoy coming to work. My work is my hobby. My job is my entertainment. But think about if you have, and I'm off at noon. I'm in at 7:30 and I'm off at noon. I have this as easy as an adult can possibly have in a work environment. Think if you're a guy.
You worked that out really nicely.
Well,
yeah.
I tell people I spent years working, figuring out how not to work. That's my real
cracked
accomplishment
the
in life.
code.
I totally did. But think about if you have a job where it's a 9 to 5 or whatever. Last night at the store, I saw a buddy, a dear friend, and he's made a lot of money having individual businesses, and he's been running them for many years. And I was like, how are things going? He goes, well, I went back to work for fill in the blank, and this is a major corporation. I was like, you did what? He goes, yeah, it's been like 12 years since I've been there, but life's getting really expensive, and the amount of money they offered me to go back. I was like, but what about your business? He's like, well, I'm just going to do them afterwards now. And he says, it's just life is. This guy had to take a full-time job on top of the businesses that he owns because of how expensive everything is.
Yes. 64% of Americans earning under $30,000 say groceries are a major financial stressor. 40%, even if you earn over $100,000 a year, 40% still say going to the grocery store, stressful event.
Yeah, because
of the cost.
It eats into, it's the same conversation we had about the property taxes and the insurance, which is your mortgage payment keeps going up, but it's a sunk, like you get nothing for it. You're not getting anything extra. It's one thing to say, I'm going to buy something for the house, or I'm going to go on a vacation. Yes, you're spending money, but you're getting something in return for it. In the case of groceries or the property tax or insurance, like all these things you have to have, you're getting nothing extra for it. You're not buying more food. In fact, you're buying less food because of shrinkflation or whatever. And I think that it's overwhelming because it's so depressing.
So I saw this report on Good Morning, I think it's Good Morning America. Yeah. Is that the ABC one?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's whatever channel I have on in the morning.
You actually watch network television in the morning?
It's kind of on.
How very 1990s of you.
And they were covering this same poll, this same survey. And then they gave tips on how you can save on groceries.
Starve?
The number one tip that they gave was eliminate food delivery services. And I thought, okay, that's probably not relating so much to people here in central Indiana.
Sure.
That's targeted to New Yorkers or, big city. Because I just can't imagine somebody paying extra for the food delivery on top of the cost of groceries.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do it, hey, man, it's your choice. You go for it.
Yeah.
But that just seems like such an incredible extra cost.
Now, we're not doing very well right now, but you know who is doing really well in many cases are the nonprofit hospitals in Indiana. This is our next guest. He's the former head of the FDA.
Yeah.
And he has some startling data on how much nonprofit hospitals are making in Indiana, some of them, and how much the people who run them are making.
Yeah, Peter Pitts will join us next on 93 WIBC.
Historic flooding.
This is a 100-year catastrophe.
Lives shattered.
Dedicated, searching for every single one of the children.
It's horrible. I have grandchildren that I couldn't imagine them flowing down a river.
Support Texas flood relief efforts by going to SALArmyEDS.org. Whatever you can spare will help.
It is undescribable and catastrophic.
From 93.
This is a national emergency.
WIBC.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Juice box. I'm a mom.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check. Oh, hot sauce. Take it.
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins, a balloon. Wait one sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 per month on Experience Beyond. Finance agreement $829.99 and qualifying ported. For well-qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay out via virtual prepaid card. Allow 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Mom just found the best place ever. Wilson's Farm Market. They've got the best ice cream in tons of flavors like butter pecan, orange pineapple. But my favorite is the old-fashioned vanilla. And the candy? Whoa. There's a whole wall of it. Gummies, chocolates, giant jawbreakers, even old school stuff my grandma loves. It's like a candy wonderland. And they let me pick out my own bag? Yes! Wilson's is just 20 minutes north of Carmel. Tell your crew it's time for a sweet road trip. Wilson Farm Market, you gotta go!
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve. Plus, with any new Lincoln, your first 5 oil changes are on us. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
First 5 oil changes complimentary with any new Lincoln purchase or lease. See dealer for complete details.
You hear that? That's Mike, sleeping soundly on a Sunday night. That's because Mike was smart this time. He took ZzzQuil Ultra to fall asleep fast, stay asleep longer, and get the deeply restorative sleep he needs. So now he wakes up refreshed and ready to conquer Mondays.
Let's do this Monday.
ZzzQuil Ultra. Not for colds, just for sleep. Really great sleep. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Casey, there's an interesting report out about how much nonprofit hospitals and the people who run them in the state of Indiana supposedly make.
Yeah, and that's with some state subsidies. So taxpayers are on the hook for part of this, and it really shows how you and I got into the wrong business if we wanted to make money.
Well, we saw this yesterday with how much some of the fair people are doing much better than us. And now we should have gotten the nonprofit hospital business. So this is interesting. It's Kendall Casey show, by the way. I'm Rob. That's Casey. People think nonprofit hospital or hear the phrase nonprofit hospital. In fact, this actually came up in the legislative session.
It did.
This year. And about how you can't touch these nonprofit hospitals or how they'll cut services potentially to people if you do these healthcare reforms. And
you might even remember how some of the CEOs were sending out emails to stakeholders guiding them who to vote for in the governor election.
Yeah, so this is fascinating because, again, people think nonprofit hospital, they think some little podunk kind of place that's, the lights are hanging on by a thread. And the reality is, according to this report, no, many of these places are doing quite well, and the people who run them are doing quite well. And you, Casey, have found a very special guest to tell us all about it.
Yeah, actually, this is Peter Pitts. He's joining us. He is the former FDA commissioner, and he's also with the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest. And, Peter, let's talk about this report and how it reveals Indiana's nonprofit hospitals contribute to the rising healthcare costs that we're all experiencing. I'd like to start with some of the key findings from the report. And you stated that just 47% of community investment was allocated to actual charity care. So how much do you think is an appropriate amount that should be going to charity care?
Well, the first thing is people say, why are we focusing on nonprofit hospitals, the good doers in our healthcare system. But the fact of the matter is, 60% of hospitals in the U.S. are not-for-profit, and it's like what Willie Sutton, the bank robber, said. That's where the money is. So that's certainly where the problem is. These not-for-profit hospitals get $25 billion annually nationally in tax incentives, and yet they don't provide an equal amount of community care. In fact, what's kind of embarrassing is that Indiana University Health has the honor of being the fifth largest, what's called fair share deficit in the United States. So they collect $136 million more in tax credits and benefits for being a nonprofit than they actually pay out in community care. That's unacceptable.
Peter Pitts is our guest. He is the former commissioner for the FDA. We're talking about how much nonprofit hospitals and the people who run them in the state of Indiana are making. And I think that's the other part of it too, Peter, if you can go into. These people who are at the tippy top of these nonprofit hospitals, they're not in the soup kitchen line.
They're not. I mean, some of these numbers are pretty substantial. Dennis Murphy, who's the CEO of Indiana University Health, annual compensation in 2023, $4,970,000.
How much?
That's $4,970,039.
For
so almost $5 million. So a sneeze under $5 million.
Just a sneeze, Casey.
For a year.
And I don't know what your contract says, but I'm guessing it doesn't say $4.9 million.
Well, we always wonder who was able to buy Jim Irsay's $12 million home.
Could be this guy.
People like this who make $5 million a year. Do you have another example?
Brian Mills, who has Community Health Network, $2,952,000, almost a sneeze under $3 million. Kevin Leahy, who's the president of Franciscan Alliance, $2,665,000. So he's pulling up there. He's the guy looking for government benefits. He's only earning $2,665,008.
Okay,
so these are huge numbers.
So, Peter, I was going to ask you because, like Casey and I just said, there was this big brouhaha this year about healthcare reform in Indiana, and there was all this conversation about, well, if you do this or you do that, these rural hospitals, these county hospitals, these nonprofit hospitals, they're going to be basically, turning the lights out and shuttering the doors, and people won't have access to care. Like, are these the exception to the rule that you're laying out, or are we seeing all over the place that these nonprofit hospitals across the state are doing quite well, and most importantly, the people who run them?
Well, obviously the biggest players are taking the most advantage of the system, and the smaller hospitals suffer because of that. And you mentioned the Indiana House bill. I mean, Indiana, had a bill 1004, and it's threatened not-for-profit status for hospitals charging more than 200% of Medicare. And the IU Health CEO emailed stakeholders to vote against that. They are acting like for-profit hospitals. They are fee-based hospitals, which means that they're getting paid for all the things that they do rather than the value they provide. So it's fee-based versus value-based. And you think that for a not-for-profit entity, they'd be focused on the outcome of the patient more than for-profit hospitals, and that's not the case.
Well, some hospitals say that they need the big profits and the high pay to run well and hire top talent. What's your response to that?
I'm all for paying top talent, top dollar, but at a certain point it becomes ridiculous. The mission of a not-for-profit hospital, a huge part of that mission is to provide community services and charity care. And yet many of these hospitals don't want to do that. They want to go after insured individuals, wealthy individuals, where they can collect more fees. And that's true across the board, certainly the largest Indianapolis hospitals. And they've got to refocus their mission. They can't be looking about gaining profit by lobbying, by advertising to wealthy patients. They have to focus on their core mission, which is why they receive these billions of dollars in tax incentives.
Peter Pitts is joining us. He's the former FDA commissioner, also with the Center for Medicine in the Public Interest. And part of your report says that these non-for-profit hospitals are contributing to the rising healthcare costs that we all experience. So I would like for you to speak on the subsidies that they receive.
Sure. So first you have to realize that over the last 25 years, hospital prices have gone up 250%. Think about that, 250%. That's triple the rate of general economic inflation. About 80% of nonprofit hospitals nationally spent less on financial assistance and community investment than the estimated value of their tax breaks. That's what a fair share deficit means. Think about this. That's $25.7 billion in deficits. That's enough to pay off all the medical debts of everybody in California, Texas, New York, and Pennsylvania. It's an enormous number. And in Indiana, not-for-profit hospitals received about $1.3 billion in tax benefits. Despite that huge amount of money. Only 66% of Indiana not-for-profit hospitals had a fair share deficit. So 66% of all the hospitals in Indiana are bringing in more than they're sharing with the community.
Well, yeah, and I think, and I got about a minute left here, but Peter, I think it was the IU Health guy who's making almost $5 million. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay, so think about if he made $3.5 million, certainly not going to be hurting. Think of all the health care they could have provided to poor indigent people, right? I think that's kind of what you're getting at is there's no reason for a guy to be making that much money when the mission is supposed to be to serve the poor, the indigent, the hurting in our society.
That's exactly right. And this is not to disrespect the doctors and the nurses and the people that work on the air conditioning units in hospitals. They do yeoman's work. And they are healthcare heroes. But I think they are really being betrayed by their upper management who are taking these huge salaries, who are not doing the right thing. If you took all the Indiana fair share deficits, which equals about $136 million a year, you could erase 66,518 individual medical debts for Hoosiers in Indiana. Think about that. Over 66,000 Hoosiers could have their medical debts erased if these hospitals did the right thing.
All right, Peter, man, this is great stuff. Casey, take us home.
Yeah, Peter, where can people find the report or more information about you?
Thanks for asking. On both, and certainly for the report, is now online at our website, which is cmpi.org, Center for Medicine in the Public Interest. And, check it out, look at the numbers. Unfortunately, the numbers speak for themselves. There's got to be some change going on here.
That's cmpi.org. Thank you, Peter Pitts, for joining us. It is Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
We'll soon know the cause. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. A Greenwood mother and her 3-year-old son are identified as the two found dead in their home Monday. Autopsies are planned for 1 o'clock this afternoon to determine how 33-year-old Karen Clay and her son Carter exactly died. A Purdue University student is out of federal custody after being detained last week by immigration agents in New York. The Department of Homeland Security said that Yensu Go overstayed her visa. Her attorney disagrees. Rain could be heavy at times this afternoon, but nothing severe expected after today. It'll be hot again this week, too.
Right now, we're expecting upper 80s, but there could be a few isolated pockets that might break 90. But for the most part, we're expecting 88, 89 degrees.
Meteorologist Aaron Updike with the National Weather Service. And the Indiana Fever are taking on the LA Sparks tonight on the West Coast. They're looking for their 6th straight win. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
The Indiana State Fair. It is a Hoosier masterpiece, a summer tradition like no other. I love the fair, the food, the concerts, more food, the tap room, the dairy bar. And coming up on August 14th, it's AAA Hoosier Motor Club Day, where AAA Hoosier Motor Club members get in free. AAA Day at the Indiana State Fair. You don't pay admission, just show your AAA card, and you are in for a full day of fun. And also going on right now is your chance to win a free music vacation with AAA's Ultimate Concert Sweepstakes. This includes 2 concert tickets to any Live Nation venue in the United States, plus airfare, hotel, and $200 to spend. Register online or on AAA Hoosier Motor Club's social media page. And if you subscribe to receive AAA Hoosier Motor Club emails, you get 5 additional entries. Visit AAA.com or call 844-GO, AAA GO, or stop by that local AAA office.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supply supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Open the lid on a carton of Bluebell Homemade in the Shade, and you'll have it made, so to speak. It's a combination of our top-selling homemade vanilla ice cream with a swirl of rich chocolate fudge sauce. Enjoy an instant classic.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Amber and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
Well, the governor and the lieutenant governor better get their walking shoes on, Casey.
Yeah, why is that? They going somewhere?
Well, there's some school referendums that are about to be afoot, and the governor promised me the last conversation I ever had with the governor. He looked right at me when he told me he was about to screw millions of people and sign off on that property tax plan, that he would personally put on his walking shoes
and go door to door
at any place that had a referendum, because I said, as soon as you people sign off on this, the referendums are going to be flying out the window. And I laughed at him and I said, that'll never happen. And then I think on our radio show, the lieutenant governor seconded that effort and said, sign me up. I'm going to be knocking on doors in all these communities that are having referendums. Well, I've got one for them right in their own backyard, Casey.
Yeah, they don't have to go very far, do they?
Boy, these school people, these public school people are some of the dirtiest, most rotten, disgusting people. So one of the, I would say mistake, but I think they did it deliberately when they passed the property tax abomination, was they, like the rest of the laws, it doesn't take effect until July 1st, or didn't take effect until July 1st.
Right.
Which meant one of the major changes that they did, which was actually positive, if you're not going to get rid of the referendums, at least make them go to even year general ballot elections where people actually show up to vote. So the midterm, the general election, the midterm, or the presidential years. Because what these school systems were doing deliberately, because they're manipulative, rotten people, is they would have these referendums in primaries of odd years where nobody normally votes unless you live in a city or a town, and nobody shows up to vote at those anyway. And they knew
they could stack the deck.
We'll get all of our people to show up to vote. Most people don't even know they go vote, and this is how we'll get them passed. Well, because, and I told Braun this was going to happen, they will just flood these school corporations because the law didn't take effect July 1st. They will, the school corporations will push these referendums to a ballot this year, because while it's not a primary ballot, it's a fall ballot in an odd year where there's nothing to vote for. And boy, howdy, who went first to the front of the line of the scumbags are us? It's the Avon Community School Corporation.
Oh, boy. So, yes, for Avon schools, huh? They've got a political action committee, a PAC, it's formed, and they're trying to get people registered to vote.
Yes.
What are they referending?
Well, they had one in 2018. And by the way, let me say something nice about the Brownsburg school system, because we've had our disagreements over the years, but the one thing those people have always done after they lost a referendum is they've stayed out of the referendum game, and they're still pledging to do that. So sometimes you just got to look to the neighbor to the south to realize how kind of okay maybe you actually have it. So they had Avon had a referendum in 2018 because, of course, you can never just live within your means. You can never just make a cut somewhere. You can never just actually abide by the will of the people, which is the property tax caps, which they passed. What Avon recognized was it will be much harder for us to pass the thing next year when people actually show up to vote. So instead of doing the right thing, which is adhering to the will of the General Assembly, they sprinted in and we played the audio from the superintendent. They had that hidden video where the public couldn't see it, but somebody alerted me to it. So we put it out there about how they're just rushing this referendum. They want to do it on the fall ballot this year when nobody will know to vote. And that way they'll have a better chance to pass it. Because it's not about what's right. It's not about a public discussion. It's not about what's doing best for the community. It's about what's doing best for them. The public school system will always do what's best for them that benefits them at the expense of you. And in this case, they said, well, screw that. We don't care about your stupid law. And I told Braun this is going to happen. And it's happening. So Braun promised me, and Micah was there, and Sherry's chief of staff was there, that he'd get on his walking shoes and he'd go knock door to door, because I think Fort Wayne Schools is doing the same thing. So I want to know when the governor is going to get those orthopedic walking shoes on and start knocking on people's doors in the Avon school system and start telling them to vote against this referendum. And I want to know when Micah's going to do it.
All right, Rob, I'm going to hold your hand while I tell you this. He has told you things in the past that he didn't do. He's gone back on his word on other things before. So I think you should lower your expectations.
Oh.
That maybe he won't do it again.
Oh.
You okay?
Can I translate? Can I take a stab at this?
Yeah.
Are you saying he's a dirtbag scumball liar? Is that what
you're... them's fighting words. Yeah. I was trying to be a little gentler about it, but I don't think that you should expect him to be in Avon knocking on doors anytime soon.
I would probably pass out at the sight of watching the governor actually go to a local, and that's why I was like, you're ridiculous. I told him that in the meeting. I was like, well, I can't wait to see that. Oh, I'll go knock on door. Oh, yeah, right, sure.
Yeah, could you imagine if you were at home one day and you get and you go to the front door and it's the governor?
But that's what he should be doing.
What would you do?
If he really believes in property tax reform, I mean, we're laughing at this because, of course, he won't do anything, and he'll probably deny he said it. The great thing about Mike is I think he said it on our show, so we could always go back and pull the audio if we need to. They should be doing this. If you actually care about property tax reform and helping people stay in their homes, which we all know he doesn't. We all know he doesn't care at all. That's why he signed off on the thing. That's why he didn't veto it. That's why he didn't fight. But if you actually cared, these referendums are never needed. The referendums bail out lazy school corporations who don't want to get their act together. The place I live has done now in the past 10 years probably close to $250 million in construction projects, and they don't have a referendum. Why? Because to their credit, while we've had our differences and they had to be forced back to the table, they proved you can do it if you're smart with your money and how you manage and how you move and how you save and all these things. These school systems just don't want to do it. Casey, you have driven past my house. I live right near the monstrosity in question. If those people can figure it out, don't you think, and all that stuff, there's colleges that aren't as nice as the Brownsburg school system. Don't you think everybody should be able to get it together? Yeah. Everybody should be able to figure it out?
Do you know what the referendum is for? Does it say?
Well, I think it was...
are they looking for a new football field?
No. The last time, they always do the same thing. Here's what the PAC people say. It's help them maintain small class sizes, attract and retain great teachers, and continue providing supports for student success. What the hell does that mean?
Okay, so they want to give people raises.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Did they get the raises last time? Yeah. But if why is it somebody else's job to have their tax caps violated so that you can figure out how to pay people properly? Right? There's never a reason for it. It's never okay. All of these school systems who do it are just lazy, incompetent people who don't want to do hard work. Period. Full stop. All right. I feel better now.
You good?
I told you. Didn't I warn you?
Hey, what is going on with Brownsburg? Didn't they table something at your last
The water. They're still researching.
Is that still tabled?
They're still
I
researching
just wanted a quick update on that.
Well, they're still researching how to deal with the freeloaders who are apparently making everybody else or helping cause people pay more for water. I'm trying to figure out where the thing I said. I was trying to find this direct quote about what I said about the Avon school system and see if I could actually say it on the air. I don't see it. That's too bad.
Your own Twitter account?
No, I'm what I sent to you.
Oh, what you sent to me.
Yeah, I told you what I wanted to say about him today on the
I've
air.
got what you sent to me.
Oh, what? Can you read it on the
You
air?
said, let's talk about this. Micah and Braun promised to walk to defeat all school referendums.
Oh, I thought I said something worse than that. Maybe that was to somebody else.
Well, you did say something worse, and I'm not going to read that.
I knew I said something worse than that. Yeah, there we go.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel show back at it this afternoon. The biggest stories in Indy. Jeff Boggs will join us. Rumors of a Nigel sighting. Let's go.
Tired of using your Indy summer to paint year after year? Then do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And right now, you can have that protection for 10% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace through strength.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
At Verizon, lock in a low price on the best 5G in Indianapolis and be the best you. Stream your favorite music on your morning commute. Get tickets to that new Blockbuster and save big with Verizon while you do it all. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. Stop by your nearest Verizon store today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Rankings based on Root Metrics Root Score Report dated 2H 2024. Your results may vary. Additional terms apply.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues? Who are you? Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Get a great deal on versatile Kubota equipment today, like the Kubota BX Series subcompact tractor, the #1 selling subcompact tractor in the U.S., Z-Series mowers, and Sidekick utility vehicles. Stop by your local Kubota dealer today. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment with 0% financing available or save up to $4,500. Now through September 30th. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Stop by McAllister Machinery in Indianapolis to see their full line of Kubota or visit them online at McAllisterKubota.com.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
So you are totally interested in this Tucker Carlson, Laura Loomer feud.
Well, they're fighting. And anytime there's a public feud, you kind of like, well, what's going on over there? Why are these two mad at each other?
So it's Kendall Casey show. I'm Rob. That's Casey. So Laura Loomer has trained her sights on. So for those of you who don't know, most people know, Laura Loomer is sort of an independent citizen journalist. She's her own thing. By what I mean by that is like she's not connected to. She don't work for Fox News or anything like that. She has a podcast. She does a lot of Twitter reporting, etc. And she is probably best known because she got banned off all social media for several years pre-Elon Musk restaking the claim to Twitter and letting her back on. And she was an investigative reporter. Again, I think she's always kind of been on her own stuff. She famously went to like book signings and would try to question Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
And we'll get to the second. Like we used to have Laura Loomer on my Sunday show when it was the Rob Kendall show.
Yeah.
When I was the producer for the Chicks on the Right, and it's been fascinating to watch her rise inside of not the Republican circles, but really the Trump orbit.
I was going to say, yeah, she's always around Trump.
And she has a ton of influence with Trump, and he clearly reads and listens to her stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But what is she feuding with Tucker Carlson about? What's going on?
Well, Carlson referred to her as the world's creepiest human. He said that during a podcast appearance. And so she, of course, has kicked up her criticism of him. She accused him of being financially influenced by foreign entities. And she alleged that Qatar and Iran had ties to his media operations. And, of course, his team has denied any of those allegations. But the feud even intensified because they have different stances on the U.S. military involvement in Iran.
Okay, so this is
Carlson didn't like what Trump was doing, and Loomer was a staunch supporter of Trump.
Now, what's interesting about Loomer, like I said, I knew her. She was a known quantity. She was not nearly as famous as she is now. And I said, about the good and the bad, right? She had just done the stuff with the Hillary Clinton book tour. We had a mutual, friend, acquaintance that kind of connected us, and she used to come on the show quite a bit. We talk about a variety of things. But Washington Post has a new article out about her, and it's entitled "Inside Laura Loomer's Rise: Obsessive Research, Oval Office Visits," and it details a whole bunch of things. And one of the things about Laura Loomer, and this was a quote in the article, is, quote, this came from a guy named Shane Corey, who was involved in helping her stay afloat when she got banned from social media, so like the 2018s to the early 2020s. Quote, she's obsessive. She's the most obsessive mind you will ever meet.
Oh, wow.
And
that's probably hard to be around.
Well, I think one of the things you find is, and not to any extent the level of Laura Loomer, but I get that way about things, right? I mean, I know you were nodding. You were like, yeah, okay.
You hear what I just said? I bet that's hard to be around.
Look, I'm not nearly, I'm not in Trump orbit. I don't want to be in Trump orbit, whatever. But I've been this way my entire life, not just on radio, but whatever I get into. It's why I had to get out of politics.
Right.
I had to get out of elected office and being an elected person because I couldn't ever turn it off. and you get people calling you at 10 o'clock at night wanting to talk to you about their sidewalk or a street light or something, and it recognized, in order to have a life, a family, whatever, to save me from myself, I have to turn this off. So I recognize this. It's why when we get into stories, well, it's part of why we're so influential, I think, in part of what we do, because we will see them through to the very end. We don't take no. We don't just accept bull crap, whatever. She takes that to a whole another level, but it's part of why she's so effective. She is tenacious.
Well, if you're going to be in Trump's orbit like she is, you would have to be obsessive, because look at his energy level. Just to keep up with him and everything, the rapid fire that he does everything, especially the second term, you would have to have that sort of mindset.
And it's interesting the way politics has evolved now, where there's so much what I call sort of inner circle jockeying. Look, there's always been
I want
that.
to be the favorite.
Well, there's always been that in administrations. But what I'm saying about there's so much, like the public who goes and votes has no idea 99% of the stuff that's taking place, right? They just go, they vote, they pick somebody, whatever. And most of the time it's like whatever party you are, you vote for, et cetera. But in terms of like the primaries, especially the level of the presidency, there's all this inner circle jockeying. Like, you want this person on your team. Yeah, but if you have them on your team, then they come with this, but they also come with that. And do you want this and you want that? And it's just like it's going to a whole new level in the social media era. And she's an example of a person who is, at least in the political orbit, incredibly well known, who, if she had been in her early 30s in the 1990s, she would not exist. She has solely been able to rise because of the social media era in which she became an adult and did all these things.
Right.
And it got attention. Then she's built upon that. She gets a lot of stuff right.
Yeah.
She does. I mean, she gets a lot of scoops. And she also has, because she doesn't work for a company or a media entity or whatever, she doesn't really have any strings attached to her. She can just say or do whatever. And I guess the only thing is a threat of a lawsuit that would hold her back.
Right. There's nobody above her saying you can't talk about that, or, this is off limits. Well, she called Tucker Carlson a fraud and a terrible person. So it seems like this is a very equitable dislike for one another.
Well, and what's also fascinating, too, is it used to be you couldn't take on guys like Tucker Carlson because they're so big and they're so powerful. They become sort of above being taken down.
Yeah, but when she's the one who is riding on Air Force One and he's not.
Right. She can do what she wants because she has the platform. She has the audience. There's really nothing he can do back to her. And because we're in an internet era where you don't need to be a part of Fox News to have Republican influence now.
Right.
You can just be your own thing.
Right. So is this a fraction within the conservative, movement within the Republican Party?
I think, and this is what's interesting, I think the Republican Party has so little idea of what it is anymore, and there's so many warring factions inside of it, and this idea that you can't ever cross Trump is fascinating to me, and everybody just always tries to smooch the butt cheeks the longest, that this is why you don't get good governance. The governance is not about what's best for the people or the country. The governance is about, are we going to piss Trump off?
Well, I think that the Republican Party has a better identity than the Democrat Party does. And that was on clear display yesterday when Elizabeth Warren was saying that the guy who's running for mayor in New York was speaking the Democrat language. That was their new message.
Yeah. All right, we got to go.
All right. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Kevin. And thank you for listening today. This has been Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Why do so many basement companies want half the money up front? Could it be because it's easier to get than earning all your trust? At the Michaelis Corporation, they don't ask for a deposit until the job is done and you're completely satisfied. They even start with a free inspection to ensure you know exactly what your home needs without the guesswork. With over 35 years experience, they've proven that trust is built on results, not deposits. Michaelis, building trust beneath your feet. Visit michaeliscorp.com.
For all your home's heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and drain needs, remember the man for all seasons. Chapman. Drain cleanings right now, only $89. Schedule online today at chapmanheating.com. That's chapmanheating.com.
Hey, ladies, are you interested in self-protection but don't know where to begin, or maybe you're too nervous to enter the gun store alone? Well, let me introduce you to Premier Arms. They're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a supportive community dedicated to empowering women. They have a friendly, educated staff, and they'll provide personalized guidance, ensuring you feel confident in your firearm choice. It's Casey Daniels letting you know Premier Arms is where female gun owners are supported. Call them today, 317-858-3030.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
Especially on your drive back from work this afternoon.
It's a developing story.
Our suspect knew everyone in that bar that morning. It's definitely scary when you don't know like what happened.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
This weather could change on you quickly.
There are some clouds over downtown Indianapolis right now. It's 76 degrees. I'm Ryan Hedrick.
And I'm John Herrick. Here's what's trending at 12 noon. You're being urged to watch out for rain at times today across Indiana.
Now just be alert, especially on your drive back from work this afternoon. Any ponding on roadways, just take it a little bit slower.
Forecaster Aaron Updike at the National Weather Service Indianapolis believes some parts of the Hoosier State might have to deal with flooding, considering how much rain we've received recently. He says you can also expect warmer weather as the week goes on.
More than 9 million people in the southeast are under a flood watch as rain and thunderstorms will impact the region over the next few days. The same cold front that helped develop Tropical Storm Dexter off the coast of the Mid-Atlantic is bringing a separate threat to some southeast states throughout the week and could stretch into the weekend.
The search for a killer in Tennessee is now over. Here's Fox's Jeff Manasso.
It's a developing story, but what we know right now is the man accused in a quadruple murder last week in Tennessee